Check me out now. Return of the smooth operator. Shotty on repeat. I say sleep later. This another favor. Consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air. Fantasy a dream. Real world is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless. Learn to live shameless. Talk about me alive, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless. So I'ma style on them. They washed up. It's a rap. Throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them. Otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue. Get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah, about time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. 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 Vibe with the vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point. Moving forward. The battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a minor, but made me a grinder. The trees broke down, but it's loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm Bruce Lee. Ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crash nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. I think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wanna ride? Come and vibe with the blue. Come 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 vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather, be weather, be tripping, starting to look control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it. It's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish, loose-ish. Why they still lying? They don't do this. Bad at board games, whole world clueless. Selling they soul for Roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a slice, extra mozzarella. Crew fly, let God propellers. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge to tell her? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrinking the frame? Ever blink in the rain? It helps when your eyes dry. Mob with the bright minds. Think you funny, wise guy? Midnight marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake. Come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. Why do you try? We get them high. Take them high. What I do? Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. Vibe with the blue. Pass what up? Vibe with the. Wise grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple eyes. You can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Dream on, yeah. Dream on, Dreamweaver.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd Without Fear. Got the homie Carter presents. Welcome to episode 193 of the Blerd Cave, the #1 comic book news stream on this or any other Earth in the multiverse, and the very same show that you can listen to every week after we go live on Spotify, Google, Amazon Music, Apple, iHeartRadio, all the places. All the places. You can just go listen to them everywhere. Also, if you are listening in those platforms, we humbly ask that you go ahead and leave a review. Give us a rating. That helps us reach more listeners like yourself. We got a jam-packed show for y'all today, in case you didn't know. And if you couldn't tell from the thumbnail, those who are watching this on YouTube live, those of you who are listening to this after the fact, they'll probably be painfully obvious. But we're going to be talking about our predictions for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. And yeah, we'll get more into that here in a minute. Carter, what's going on with you, pimpin'? Considering I haven't really talked to you as of late.
Working like a madman, trying to get shit situated for this move because it's getting closer by the day. I didn't realize Moon Girl came out.
Yep, came out on Friday.
Okay, I see people talking about it in chat, but apparently Disney Plus people don't get it until the 15th. And apparently that's what they're saying. Apparently it came out on Disney yesterday or last night, but it's coming out on the 15th for Disney Plus people. So see, now I don't feel bad about it not knowing that. Because I forgot about Last of Us came out last night.
I forgot. I didn't think about it till it was already the middle of the night. Yeah, it was middle of the night last night, and I was like, oh, snap. I was like, Last of Us came out. I forgot that they moved the date. But I watched that with my wife, so I will just wait until Sunday like we would have watched it normally, because I'm not going to be watching the Super Bowl because I don't give a shit about football anymore.
I didn't even know it had come out until I saw Dope Spill on Twitter saying, I knew what was going to happen in that scene, but I still cried. I'm like, what the fuck are you, what are you crying about? The shit with Bill happened a week back, and then that's when I saw a lot of people were talking about Last of Us. I completely forgot about the Super Bowl just because I don't give a shit about either team. So, and that's another thing we have to stop as well, because I've been watching a lot of YouTubers, content creators on here that have shied away from saying the S word, apparently, because that will get you in trouble on YouTube now.
Oh my God. Anyway. I got nothing. Anyway. Nah.
Out of everything that could get you in trouble, apparently saying that will get you caught up, apparently.
Yeah, now I've been seeing a lot of people I follow having to re-upload videos, having to edit stuff. I've kind of gotten to the point where maybe not so much here, just because a lot of times I'm just talking. There's no editing here, obviously. But when I just videos in general, I've largely just kind of stopped cursing for the most part, even though I usually bleep most of it out anyway. But largely because it's a headache, and I just don't care. I just don't want the hassle.
Apparently, YouTube just wants everybody to be the BET movie version of everything now.
That sounds accurate. That sounds terribly accurate. On that terrible note, no, when you said that Dope Spill said he knew it was gonna happen, but he cried anyway, I thought you were still talking about Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I was like, damn, I didn't know Moon Girl's gonna be hitting folks like that. straight to the heart, just like that. I mean, damn.
Only thing I've seen on Moon Girl was them putting the Gambino song in it, so it'll be interesting to sit down and try to watch a full episode of it. I mean, if it had, I almost cursed again. If it got people crying, I don't think I want to watch it.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good on all that. I had already steeled my heart for this episode of The Last of Us. So yeah, that it is what.
Can I ask you something about The Last of Us?
Go ahead, shoot.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah,
You sure?
positive.
Hmm.
What was I supposed to say? A different answer?
No, so here's my problem with The Last of Us.
Okay.
Is I can't tell if I'm watching it because I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, or if I'm watching it because it's The Last of Us. You know what I mean?
I mean, The Last of Us is not so monolithic to me that I would watch it just because it's The Last of Us. Like, if it was not good, I would have stopped watching it.
Yeah.
Because that's just how I am. My time to watch television is, and some people probably think just because, this is all I do, that, oh man, Blerd must have tons of free time to watch TV. I actually don't. My TV time is sacrosanct as a mofo. Like, I don't, sometimes people will, because my wife does this, and so I'm not trying to put anybody on blast, so just so anyone knows. You know how people hate watch stuff? Like they watch a TV show or a movie and like it's already bad, or like it, or maybe it was once good and it becomes bad, but they continue watching anyway because they feel they have to finish it. I'm not one of those people. Like, if I find out a show is starting to have a downward turn, I will just stop watching it. If I'm watching a movie and it just starts to not entertain me, I'm not the person to sit there and continue watching it just to meme it. I'm the dude that be like, well, this sucks, boop, and I will go watch something else. Because my time is very, I just don't have that kind of time to hate watch stuff. Like, my wife went back and she's been watching The Walking Dead, and she finally finished all of it, and she hates that show, but she felt she had to finish it because she had watched so many seasons.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, she did the same thing with Supernatural. When Supernatural started being bad, like, she kept watching it, and I was like, I stopped after season 6. So yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's my issue right now. I can't tell right now.
I mean, here's the thing. The show's not perfect. I will say that it's not a perfect show, but it is an entertaining one. And speaking as someone who has played The Last of Us like multiple times, more times than I think anyone should actually play through a game of that emotional magnitude.
Yeah.
I still enjoy it because it does do, a lot of that stuff is beat for beat, shot for shot, but a lot of it, they change things. I was like, episode 3, they changed a lot of things that could have happened in that episode. That episode should have been way more dour than what it was, but and heartbreaking, but in a negative way. Not a way that would make you go, oh, it's so sad. You'd have been like, God damn it, fuck this show. That, like, in that way. But yeah, I've been enjoying. Plus, yeah, we got Melanie Linsky on the show now, so I'm great.
Wasn't she the crazy chick off of 2.5 Men?
Mm-hmm. She's also
okay.
She's also.
I know she's off Yellow Jackets, but I couldn't remember what else I had seen her on.
Mm-hmm. That's her. And what was the Rose Red? There was that Stephen King TV movie. I think it was a TV movie. She was in that too.
You just went back a ways for that one. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about because I didn't have cable, so all I had was Fox, ABC, UPN. Why did you go back to that?
Yeah, that's 20 years ago. That was actually that came out in 2002. Rose Red came out in 2002. And yeah, that is over 20 years ago. I apologize for taking y'all back in the way back machine. But you know what, Carter, we've done a lot of way back machining. I feel like we should go into, instead of going into yesteryear, going back to the future. I feel like we should go into the quantum realm. So we're gonna do that.
Not after the broccoli head people I saw down there.
Oh. That shit was fucking hilarious, by the way. I never even went back to look and see if anyone responded to that tweet that I put out.
Man.
But like when I saw one of the recent like featurettes, or it was like a clip somebody shared, I was like, damn, Dark Phoenix confirmed for the MCU, huh?
Oh no, I saw it. I saw it. Now people can leave me alone when I bring up the fact that Kevin Feige was in an X-Men comic. This shit been I did it again. This has been talked about and researched for quite a long time. I knew this was gonna happen. Now they don't have to pick on me anymore when I bring that up. When I say that Steve Rogers is a mutant now. Now they can bother you because you trying to put the bad juju of Dark Phoenix into this main universe.
I mean, hey, if the shoe fits, right? If the shoe fits,
Man, even if that shoe fits, they leaving it in the closet.
They should, honestly. I would honestly leave Dark Phoenix right where she belongs in the comics. But no, before we do that, I do want to jump on some super chats here that we got. We got one here from the homie Xylism with the $5, says Rise and Shine, Blurcoa. Got my front row tickets ready to see this boxing match of these two ex-cons in the quantum realm. But, hey, look, man, y'all better
that is a way to look at that.
hey, look.
These two ex-cons.
I mean, look, let's be real, man. Baskin Robbins always finds out. And Damien is still, like, somewhere probably still beating Adonis Creed's behind right now. But
is it coming out? Is it coming out Wednesday for you?
Yeah, Wednesday. Wednesday. So I'll be, or actually, oh no, wait a minute. It might be
because mine comes out Thursday.
I think actually no. Mine is Thursday too.
Okay.
Mine is Thursday too. So yeah, no.
Okay.
No. I got it mixed up. I thought that like the 17th was on a Thursday. That's not the case. No, it's not the case. So yeah, 15th, the 16th is when so we'll be seeing about the same time. Okay. We also got one from the homie Gabriel Knight with 1999 super chat, says happy Saturday, Ernie Carter and Blurcoa, showing support for the cave. We appreciate you, homie. We appreciate you always out here bringing it.
I can't use my actual mouse, so I'm not quick enough to mute it anymore. So,
hey man, the cat strikes. But no, I will definitely say, as far as, I see, someone said, Moon Girl got a banger opening. Yeah, that's what I've seen the
opening episode, or is it just like the actual opening?
I think they're talking about like the theme music or the opening thing.
Oh, okay.
But I've seen that. I've actually seen the opening theme. Someone had clipped it somewhere. But yeah, it's awesome. I've also seen a lot of just general clips of the show, like little stuff people have snipped out, and it's a very heartwarming show. Has a lot of heart in it. So I mean, kind of like in a. Not saying in terms of story or like progression or overall plot, but the overall like good vibes that the show gives off remind me very much of Craig of the Creek. Like Craig of the Creek is one of them shows I can watch. I can't be mad watching that show. I cannot. It is impossible for me to be in a bad mood when I'm watching Craig of the Creek. It is that show is just pure feelings. Let's see. We got Chi-Town Dan, the Night Skin King with $10, says Quantumania in the latest episode of the Proud Family just refilled my pitcher of white tears. Good thing, because I get thirsty. Hey, I ain't mad at you, pimpin'. I ain't mad at you. Here's the thing. I actually been meaning to sit down and watch the new episodes of the Proud Family. I think I'm gonna do it today after the show because which just sounds messed up because my daughter is at a sleepover, but you think that would be something I'd watch with her. But no, like I can watch it and I could just like go through a bunch of episodes and not have to stop what I'm doing.
I completely forgot that it was coming back until I saw an ad for it on a bus here in Hollywood.
Dude, I was okay. So just as bad, I opened the Disney Plus app and saw it on the carousel. And when I saw it, I was like, why are they advertising the Proud Family? Didn't that season came out like over a year ago, didn't it? And then it was like, oh, season 2. I was like, oh shit, I forgot.
Yeah, I need to catch back up with that. I want to see that if they continued from last season with Sugar Mama's parents, because Sugar Mama need to lay hands. I want to see them.
Oh yeah, no, Sugar Mama is amazing.
Did you ever think you would get a fucking a Sugar Mama arc in the Proud Family?
Bruh.
Out of every character
Of
on
any
that show.
character. Oh.
And it's a really messed up arc for Sugar Mama with her folks.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I now understand why Sugar Mama is as extra as she is. That's all. That woman has been through some things. Let that woman live, okay? Let that woman live. But no, I think we're caught up. I think we're caught up on super chats here. But yeah, no, it's it's telling the cave, yo. Hey, look, man, y'all leave me alone about Rose Red. That show was lit.
People still give me grief because The Shining I saw.
Oh, you saw the nasty TV one. Ooh.
I saw the ABC one. I didn't know about the Jack Nicholson one.
Bruh, that show was so nasty. That shit was so nasty. Anyway, you know what? Let's get into it because we'll be here all day. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania coming out on the 17th. Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly coming back as both Scott Lang, Hope Van Dyne. We have also got, of course, the impeccable Michael Douglas returning as Hank Pym. We have also got Michelle Pfeiffer's still trying to figure out what lies beneath. She's trying to find out what lies beneath the quantum realm. Coming back as Janet Van Dyne. We also got a newcomer to the MCU, Catherine Newton, taking over the role of Cassie Lang, and I think the one who needs no introduction. The man who needs no introduction, also throwing his hat, or rather his blue face mask, into the fray, is Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. Just out here, blue face and everything. He's like, man, look, y'all gonna quit messing with me. That's what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna quit messing.
Man, they bothering him, wanting to know his workout regimen, which he actually talked about in the interview, which is actually insane.
Yeah.
But they won't leave him alone, and they won't leave Cassie alone, because I saw someone on Twitter, they put a picture of her next to a picture of Scott Pilgrim. They were saying they're both evil clones. So now people are starting to call that actress Nega Heard. She's a negative version of Amber Heard.
Bruh, leave that girl alone. Leave that girl alone.
Yeah, Nega Scott, and now they calling this girl Nega Heard.
See, I always get worried when people throw that word around, because, man, I'm like, man, look.
It's very close. It is very close.
That's why, like I said, dude, they ain't never going to put the nega bands in the MCU, because some white person gonna mess around and be like, yeah, you know, the oh no, I didn't mean it.
Man, some poor Caucasian on Inside Edition is gonna get his ass towed up.
Which, you know, to be fair, I think the nega bands are actually in the MCU now. I think that's actually what they're making. I think we've talked about this before, but the bangle that Miss Marvel wears, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. But no, let's anyway. Here's the thing. There's been a lot of stuff happening with Quantumania. It premiered this over the week, and people reviewers have started seeing it, and I think even some general audiences have started to see it. So, like, spoilers are jumping out there into the wild. So a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about here could be potential spoilers. Who knows? But this isn't anything from the stuff that I personally have seen out there as far as, like, potential spoilers that have leaked out.
It's really good you don't live here, because
I bet that shit's everywhere.
No, it's so where I was going this week, I had to go through that, and traffic is just backed up like
you're talking about
okay,
yeah, it's about the premiere. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm having to drive through that, and
I'm still mad they don't ever invite me. I'm just saying, y'all invite everybody else but me. I'm just putting that out.
I invited myself just by driving by and just staring at people when I saw a camera on them, because I said that must be somebody. But like, I don't understand why people are like this. But like I'm driving and I'm right there in front of the some dude, and it's always gonna be a dude. They just ran. They came out with their phones, like recording themselves. I guess it was for a TikTok or something, and they just started spoiling it. They just started running up because there were lines of people trying to get autographs and what have you. They just running up and down saying spoilers.
Damn.
So you might know something that I don't know, or I might know something you don't know, but like I don't understand people sometimes. Like, dude, trolls are just, man.
So you know what? I think it's funny because Ed Boy in the Cut just put some in the chat, and Ed Boy, I'm gonna need you to get up out my head. I need you to get up out my head. Because this was actually something that was on my list of things to talk about. So you know what? We're gonna go ahead and bring it up. I'm gonna pull it up because let's go ahead and just start with it.
Please.
Janet Van Dyne, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer. And this is something I think I've said before as well, but I'm gonna double down on it. I believe when we go see this movie, Janet Van Dyne is going to be revealed to be the original Ravonna Renslayer. For those who are unfamiliar with the character of Ravonna Renslayer, technically we already have Ravonna on Loki. She's already on Loki, played by Gugu Mbatha Raw. But as far as she's a very different version of Ravonna Renslayer. And it's very obvious. And the funny thing about the character of Ravonna Renslayer is that there are multiple versions of Ravonna Renslayer, probably almost as many as there are Kang the Conquerors. I'm pulling this up right now, but one of the things that and here I'm gonna just pull this up just for everyone to be able to see it. So for those who know, Ravonna Renslayer is the love interest of Kang the Conqueror. It's a woman who he is been in love with across every iteration of time immemorial. Everything he does at the end of the day, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, all roads kind of lead back to Ravonna Renslayer. And the thing is, I felt like when we were watching the Loki series, I felt as if the Ravonna that we were seeing, on Loki, I felt like she wasn't quite that character yet. Or maybe over the course of the series, it would be revealed that she would later become that character. I feel like the character that is being played by Mbatha Raw, I think she is one of the variants of Ravonna, or maybe, because, she has kind of a more, she has a look that could be easily depicted as being biracial in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I could easily see that, that maybe she is descended from Janet Van Dyne in some way, shape, form, or fashion. That has kind of long been my stance on how this all might line up. And it would also help explain why Janet Van Dyne is terrified of running into Kang.
That first picture really helped your argument there.
Which one?
That first picture that you pulled up of Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh!
that helped your argument because that looked like somebody that was unhinged. That looked like somebody that just got caught with their hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah.
Picking up several different lies to why they got crumbs on their hands. She looks very unhinged in that picture.
Oh, no, 100%. Well, the other reason why I was leaning in that direction. There's an image. I'm pulling it up now. From the, we remember in the original teaser trailer when they first got down to the quantum realm, we saw this shot right here. We saw where they were walking around. She was like, "Oh no, I got to hide who I am. I can't let y'all see me out here like this. I can't be out here like this. Y'all gonna have to look." She's like, "No, y'all don't see me. Get back. Get your ass back." That's how she kind of. That's what it kind of. That's what I took it as personally.
So you want them to race swap this character?
No. You talking about? Wait. See, we're so no, not at all. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that because of the nature of how variants work, yeah. I could easily see. I mean, because they've already done it. Ravonna, that's who Gugu Mbatha-Raw plays on Loki. She plays Ravonna. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is that Ravonna was already white in the comics. So if Michelle Pfeiffer turns out to be Ravonna, then that's just the same as well.
Oh, we're not talking about the comics Blerd without Ernie. We're talking about films, and in the films, they can do something different. They don't have to always follow the fucking comics. They can make them black and they can make them white. So now we got to make this really pretty, really cute black woman an old white person, right?
Sure, whatever you say.
That was me in my portrayal of a Twitter user, because it's coming. If this is the case, it's coming.
Oh no, look. Let me tell you something. I have discovered more so this past week than ever in my life that there are certain situations where you just can't win. Like there's certain situations where you're screwed regardless of whatever it is that you say. And case in point, Witch Doctor Son. Mm-hmm. Witch Doctor Son just said it right here in the chat. Something that I think a lot of people forget about Loki. There was a black Loki on that show.
You know why people forgot about it? Because it don't help their argument.
No, it don't. It really don't. There was a damn alligator. There was an alligator. Get out of my face with that shit, man. Dude, let me tell you something, man. It is some damn comic books. It's an on cue inner Ripper 5'9". Look, let me tell y'all something. It does not matter. It really does not matter.
You could have stopped. You didn't even have to finish what you said. As soon as you said there was a damn alligator, that trumps the whole argument.
Everything. You
can get your ass up now.
It was like, look, man.
I needed that laugh. So anytime you motherfuckers bring up like race swapping or anything like that, bro, it was an alligator.
Look, they species swapped the motherfucker. Goddamn. Yeah, exactly.
We went crazy over Throg.
Yeah, look, dude. When I saw Throg jumping around in that little ass jar trying to get to the damn hammer, I fell out laughing. I wasn't sitting like, what? What kind of woke agenda is this?
Oh shit!
What? Oh my god, they're making the frogs woke now. They're making the frogs gay. The Throg's probably gonna be gay in the MCU. That's what a lot of people were going with there. And I was just like, dude,
oh man.
Look, I'm just happy that I get to see an alligator Loki and a frog Thor, and like okay, let me tell y'all something. If you watch the MCU for seriousness and like actual sardonic takes on comic books, you want everything to be realistic, you and I are not the same.
If this is what I need you all to do that are watching and that are listening. If you in your car, if you got some headphones on, cleaning your house, just listen to me. If at any point you see anyone arguing about swapping or doing this or that, going for this actress over this actress and this, that, and the third, if you all read that anywhere, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Facebook, whether it be wherever the hell, just find a picture of an alligator with that Loki helmet on and just post it and just don't say nothing.
Look, you know what?
Do that for me.
No, you know that? What's that? I don't know what the name of the meme is. You know the meme with the woman yelling at the cat and the cat's just sitting there just like with his mouth kind of half open?
Yeah.
Can someone make me a version of that meme where like someone's like, they're race swapping Loki?
And it just be the fucking alligator sitting
like, like, can somebody make me that? Can someone make that, please? Because I feel like that's a missed opportunity. I'm just saying.
That trumps every, like, that to me, in my opinion, that trumps every argument now.
Oh yeah, no, every time.
Why they make him white then? Alligator.
Alligator.
Why they make Captain America black then? Alligator.
Alligator.
Like,
Alligators. Wait. Why is Thor's
found-
a woman? Frog Thor.
I guess I think I just found the title of this episode on Spotify now.
Alligator.
Alligator.
Alligator. Look, and I ain't gonna lie, all it's doing is making me want to go back and watch that episode of Atlanta.
Oh shit.
Alligator Man.
Alligator Man, bruh.
Man, y'all know this? That's Alligator Man. Somebody please think of the children. That's what it is. Yeah.
Oh no, we know people complain just to complain. That's why it is for you all's discretion. So when you see that complaining,
oh yeah,
alligator.
And honestly, y'all have my express written permission to slap the mocha choca latte out their hand at that point. Don't slap them, just slap the coffee, the expensive Starbucks out of their hand. Because I guarantee you they got one. Carter, do you have any because that one just kind of came up apropos because Ed Boy in the Cut was on the same page. Do you have any predictions? I have more, but just I'm throwing it to you just in case.
All right. So let's an easy one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's one I really do want to say, but I'd rather you get through all of yours because mine. That one kind of.
Yours out
no,
there?
it's not out there. It just pisses me off.
Uh-oh. I'm scared to tell you one of mine then.
Okay. Well, it's mine. Well, it's fine. One for me, quite simply, is, and we'll just go the easy route because I saw people talking about it online this week.
Mm-hmm.
Wall Street ain't making it through this movie.
Oh, you know what? I didn't have that on my bingo card, but it is something I've considered because somebody, because okay, I finish your thought and I'm gonna tell you why I agree with you. It's
just because there's no reason for it to me.
Okay, gotcha.
He has had his arc of being a Ed Boy in the Cut. I don't actually. He's had his arc. He's had the fulfillment of getting his daughter back. He's had the fulfillment of helping save the world. Because if it wasn't for the Pym particles and Scott like that, we wouldn't have got anything that happened in Endgame and what have you. He got his love back and the subsequent sex that came along with that and the shaking the sheets and making animal noises.
Doing all the stuff that Kang taught.
To me, and I don't want you all to, I know he's old, but I'm going to say this anyway. He's lived a full life now. He's had the adventures. He's had the celebrity. He's saved the world. He has his love. He has his kids. He saw his grandbaby grow up and all this and that. There's no reason he won't be sacrificing himself for the greater good in this film.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to tell you why I agree with you. And it's because of this. Two things. One, some of the recent trailers have been doing the thing that people tend to do with movie trailers when a character is going to die, having them give heartfelt monologues or reusing dialogue from previous movies where they were giving a heartfelt speech but talking to what is ostensibly the main character. That's exhibit one. Mm-hmm. That's exhibit one. But also the fact that we know that in order, like, because Scott says something in one of the last trailers saying that I don't have to beat you. It was something along the lines of I don't have to defeat you. I just have to make sure we both lose.
Yeah. I don't have to win. We both just have to lose.
Right. I think Hank Pym is going to be the Ant-Man that dies, not Scott Lang. For that very reason. I think Hank is going to sacrifice himself so that Scott can live and still have his time with Cassie. And no matter what capacity that ends up fleshing out, I think that is the route it could potentially go. And the thing that sucks about that is that I like Michael Douglas. I like Michael Douglas in the role of Hank Pym. I think honestly he's probably especially the route that they decided to go with Hank Pym, not having him be the core Ant-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, having him be the guy who's more of the elder statesman, the mentor to to Scott. I feel like if they were doing stuff like this back in the 80s, he still would have been the perfect Hank Pym. Like Michael, if you would have went back to old school Wall Street, War of the Roses, Falling Down, Michael Douglas, he still would have been a good Hank Pym then, just as much as he is now. But I also feel like he might be ready to sit down. He got his money, so he's like, yeah, I'm done. I got my money. I'm out. The other thing I want to bring up, and this is the one so Carter, this is where I thought you were going. Or should I save this one? Because this is technically my big one. I'm going to save it. I'm going to sit on it. I tell you what, we are going to get, I think we will definitely be getting some major teases to Young Avengers. Because, and what I mean by major teases, because, up to this point, we've already had Wiccan, Speed, Patriot, and Hawkeye Kate Bishop introduced. Oh, also, we've had a kid version of Loki. All 5 of these characters, and America Chavez, all introduced. That's 6 characters right there, introduced into the MCU in some capacity or another, whether you notice them or not. There's also rumor that Hulkling is going to show up in the Agatha is it House of Harkness? I remember it was one of the two. I forget the title for it now. I think at one point it was Coven of Chaos and then became House of Harkness, or I don't know which one
it's reversed. I think it's reversed.
Okay, I knew it was one first and now it's the other, but whatever it is, point of the matter is there's also rumor that a older version of Wiccan will be on that show, as well as an older version of Hulkling. And we now have an older version of Well, technically, we already had an older version of Cassie, but now we have an older version of Cassie who now has superpowers. And because of who we're dealing with, we're dealing with Kang, right? We're dealing with Kang. I would not be surprised, especially based on a certain slip-up that Kevin Feige made when talking about the movie. Very reason. I don't think he slipped up. I think he did it on purpose. I'm of the belief I think we're gonna get Iron Lad. And I don't think he's gonna, and what I mean by that is I'm not saying that he's gonna be like in the movie, like for the entirety of the run of the movie. I'm not saying that he's gonna be in the movie for like, he's gonna get 30 minutes of screen time. That's not anywhere near close to what the fuck I'm saying. But no, what I'm saying is I think we will see some kind of a setup, some kind of a tease that is going to lead to us realizing Iron Lad in the MCU. And of course, he will obviously be black. Because Kang is black. But I think that is something we could actually see realized very soon, especially since that kind of seems to be the direction that Marvel has been leaning on the slick. And not only think on the slick, to me it's been painfully obvious, but to other people it'll probably seem like, oh man, they've been slick. There's going to be a YouTube channel somewhere, I'm not going to name names, but they're going to be like, I can already call the title, it'll be like, how the MCU stealth dropped the Young Avengers. No, they haven't. They've been painfully obvious about it. The kids have been everywhere. But that is one I think is on the horizon. What do you think, Carter?
Wasn't thinking about Iron Lad was not at any point going through my mind. It's just because I don't really think about Iron Lad like that.
Well, I mean, you can't have the Young Avengers without Iron Lad. That's kind of the.
Okay, I'll tell you what it is. You know why I'm not thinking like that? Because Gillen's run.
Okay. I got you. Because he wasn't there. He was, yeah. It was. Because I think if memory serves correctly, America Chavez was more, and Kate Bishop were more front and center during Gillen's. That was also when Prodigy was there, if I'm not mistaken.
That was toward the end. So it was Bishop, America Chavez, Hulkling, Wiccan, and Kid Loki. And then Prodigy just kind of popped the fuck up. Oh, and Patriot as well. Patriot. So I think that's why I'm thinking like that. If that happens, if that happens, that'll be that'll be interesting. Just because I think there will be other people that are like me that probably only read Gillen's run or don't pay attention to the Young Avengers as a whole. Where now you have kind of like what James Gunn did with his DC announcement. Who the hell is Iron Lad? And then you're gonna have people start researching and delving into him, and then we're gonna see a bunch of videos with Iron Lad out of nowhere. So that would be interesting if that was something that happened.
Suddenly, everyone's gonna be an Iron Lad fan. Yeah, man, I've always been reading Iron Lad, man. I got issue number 1 of Iron Lad right here. Get the fuck out of my face. Gone somewhere. Stop. It's kind of like how when everybody suddenly when Falcon and the Winter Soldier came out and everybody suddenly started acting like they've always been cool with Sam Wilson being Captain America. It was like, okay, cool. All right. when Into the Spider-Verse came out and everyone suddenly, and when I say everyone, I mean most people who aren't like of the diaspora. But everyone's like, oh yeah, man, I've always been a fan of Miles Morales. All right, cool. Okay. Good.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to say the Andrew Garfield. I didn't think you were thinking about Miles.
Well, I mean, you can apply that same energy towards that statement because, like I said, I can go back and point you to a YouTube video I was on with some of my peers, not on my channel, but on someone else's channel, where they were crapping all over Andrew Garfield, and I've seen some of them also come back and be like, yeah, man, dude, y'all really don't realize how underrated Andrew Garfield. Okay, all right. Y'all looked at me like I was crazy. Okay. When I said Andrew Garfield was my favorite depiction, my favorite on-screen Spider-Man, these same folks looked at me like I grew 4 heads out of the side of my neck and 1 out of my asshole. But no. Do you got another one, Carter?
So I saw this one on Twitter, and it makes sense. But I don't see it happening in this one. And it was someone saying that Kang could die in any of the movies and pop up in another one, and there would be no issue with it because of how his character works, which is actually very astute of a lot of you.
Yes.
The thing is, Kang is not dying in this movie. I think, dude, so many people, I think, would drop off of this current phase we're in right now. Even though you made the argument that Kang could die in any of these and pop back up just because of how his character works. If he were to die in an Ant-Man movie, his stock just dropped with a lot of people that watch these films. So
yeah,
I don't see him dying in any way, shape, or form. He might get hurt. He might bleed.
I think he'll be defeated. I think he'll be defeated. I don't think he'll be killed. Like, okay. I tell you what. I'll entertain it to this point. I think he might give the appearance of being killed, but really isn't dead. Like, and actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna take what you're saying, Carter, and I'm gonna piggyback that, and I'm just gonna go straight into my thing. Because what you're saying kind of lines up with what I'm saying. I think we are going to see the Council of Kangs. Maybe not the entire council, but I think we're definitely going to see more than one version of Kang. I think we're going to see multiple. And when I say multiple, I mean I'm talking about Immortus. I'm talking about Rama Tut. I'm talking about, what was it? Scarlet Centurion. No one's going to put Scarlet Centurion in a movie, but yeah, he'll just be in the background. Just like, he'll be that one character that looks up and goes, and the camera will jump back to the people you actually came to see. I think we will see, what was his name? Was it Victor Timely? I think we'll see Victor Timely. I think we will see so many different versions of Kang. And I don't think they'll do it like how Carter, you probably remember. I don't know if I have this image directly in front of me, but yes, I do. But like right here, you see like you got like several different Kangs just just chilling, right there on the spot.
Yeah.
I think it'll be something along that line, not the because I know I forget. Somebody will have to remind me where it happened. There was an issue. I think it might have been of Avengers. Is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it was in Avengers. But there was here. I found it. Google image search is forever my friend. But I personally feel like seeing something like this, I don't think we're going to see something like this. I don't think we're going to see this many Kangs. I think we're going to see this many Kangs. That's what I'm saying. And I think, personally, the reason why we will see these Kangs is because Ant-Man defeated Kang. And they're going to be like, nah, pimp, we can't. No, We got to come out here because they done got bold. These Earth's mightiest heroes that got bold. We got Spider-Man out here thinking he could put paws on one of us.
So if you don't mind,
yes, go ahead.
I'm actually gonna go into my last prediction because it actually correlates with the one I just said. And then you can have it.
Okay.
With me saying that I don't think that Kang is gonna bite the big one in this one, or at least this version of Kang. I think it'll happen on something else. This is why I bring up something that pissed me off.
Okay.
I don't have to win. We both just have to lose is a dope line.
Mm-hmm.
Really dope line for Ant-Man to say. That was something that should have been saved for the movie. And I say that because I'm gonna give it a good 80%. Scott's dying in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I say that, I say the Scott we have seen up to this point in the MCU.
Okay.
Because if you go with the trailers, when he was trying to climb his way through a bunch of Ant-Man, I'm sorry, Cassie, I don't have to win. We both just have to lose. I think that Scott Lang is going to bite the big one, but there's going to be another Scott Lang that's going to be there with his baby at the end of the film.
Okay.
You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I follow you.
Okay.
I'm picking up what you are putting down, sir.
Okay, so that's where my mind went, but that's what kind of pissed me off because when I heard that line from him, and then you see him crawling through all those other Scott Langs, had that been saved for the movie, I wouldn't have thought it. And I would have came with a lot less predictions for this film because I didn't really have a lot of predictions for this movie just because after you came up with the first trailer and I had an idea of what this movie was going to be. And then the stuff with Kane came out and I don't know where this movie is going to go. And that's what I loved about it. But when I saw that line, my mind just went, well, shit, there it is.
It's like, that's the tweet.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think Scott Lang's going to die in this one, but there's just going to be another Scott. Like that Scott is going to sacrifice himself because he knows he's still going to be there with his baby. He knows he's still going to be there with his daughter. So, yeah, I think the current the Ant-Man the Wasp, Endgame, Infinity War, all that Scott Lang, that Paul Rudd, he finna go back to over 40 in the Seth Rogen movies. He gone.
He up out of here.
He go.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. Let's see here. I could definitely see and once again, kind of going back to what Ed Boy in the Cut just put in the chat here, super chat. It says, I think Kang gets sent somewhere else in time, ancient Egypt, and then like after credits scene, we see that Kang gets dropped at the feet of Apocalypse. That would be baller as hell. I don't know if we'll see that much, but I definitely think we'll see Kang go somewhere else. Ancient Egypt, like I can see it go a few different ways. I could see it go the ancient Egypt route. I could see him going back to like maybe the 60s, 70s and become like Victor Timely. I could see him go to somewhere else, become like Mr. Griffin, whatever. I could see him become a bunch of different things. Honestly, there's a lot of possibilities. Like honestly, this is one of those things where the comic book version of Kang is so wild and wacky, like not saying the personality of the character, but just like the presence of the character is just so all over the place that I feel like you could legit go anywhere with the character. I would, and while I don't think this is going to happen, I'm not making this a prediction, but I'm definitely just saying this because I think it would be cool. I do think it would be interesting if they used this movie to set up the Fantastic Four. Like maybe do like kind of manipulate events in some such way that it kind of leads to being like, oh snap, Fantastic Four are here. Because we do know the movie's coming up. I will also say, I think we are gonna get a reference to Secret Invasion. Just by virtue of the fact that when they go to the quantum realm, there's so many strange and unusual beings that are just wild and fantastical. I could easily see it, and I'm not saying that like it's gonna be like, oh my god, the Skrulls are they're gonna show the Skrull invasion. I just mean we'll probably see a Skrull so people are reminded of who they are, so that when Secret Invasion comes out, people will care. Because they know how the internet works. They know that there's going to be that one guy. Actually, no, there's going to be like 100 of these guys that are going to have YouTube channels with thumbnails talking about how Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania sets up Secret Invasion. Like, the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania's ending explained and how it sets up Secret Invasion. Like, there's going to be that inevitable... there's going to be that inevitable reaction because that's just what people do, which I always find hilarious because it's usually not as deep as people think it is. Let's see. And I guess since since it's on me right now, I'll also say I think that, and some people won't like this. I know a lot of people probably won't like this, and I don't. I love it, and I think I will love it even more because I know people won't like this, and it'll just make me laugh even more. I think we're gonna get a reference to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I think the Earth 838 or 838 Illuminati that we saw get dusted, I think we're going to see somebody else from that group that we didn't see in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Or I think like in some way, shape, form, or fashion, that group is going to come back up in some way, shape, form, or fashion because we know that the incursions are a thing in the MCU. It's actually a thing no one talks about. Like it's the one big thing, like, because in order to have Secret Wars, you kind of have to have the incursions, which Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness set up with the Dark Dimension trying to encroach upon the Earth Dimension. But also there will be other dimensions that'll very likely try and encroach upon one another. But I feel like at some point that is going to come back up. I feel like the Illuminati in some way, shape, form, or fashion is going to come back up. Even if it's actually not those original members, maybe even like just variants of those members. Which I feel like with the way the multiverse works, you can have tons of different versions of every character. And it's kind of like how Marvel's What If basically just made it clear that if a character dies, they could easily be replaced by an alternate reality version. Same as what Carter was just saying for Ant-Man. Scott can die, but like another one can come in, take his place. They did that with What If with Black Widow, whereas Black Widow died in Endgame, but yet by the time you get to the end of What If, they kind of show you that there's a way for not Scarlet Witch, but for Black Widow to come back. So I mean, those are all things that can be done. And once again, these are movies based on comic books where characters die all the freaking time and come back. Like yep. it's a thing. Like just because a character is dead doesn't mean they can't be brought back in some way, unless you're an MCU villain. But no. Those are pretty much, that's all my predictions. I don't think I have any more for that. I think that's all I got. You say you don't have anything else, right?
No.
Okay. Let's see here. We got a super chat here, actually, that just coming in hot from CT Cook with says with a $5 says, "Will you be disappointed if we get a council and they're all played by majors? I'll be bummed if we don't get some other actors playing variants. Honestly, I'm perfectly fine with Jonathan Majors playing every version of himself, which honestly I think is probably going to be the case because of something Kevin Feige said in an interview recently, talking about how Jonathan Majors' performance, like he was able to play so many different facets of Kang. That kind of let me know that there's a very high possibility he's playing multiple versions of himself. And we've already seen it in Loki. And granted, I could get where some people would probably feel that way, considering what we saw with Spider-Man No Way Home, that we had both the Tobey Maguire and the Andrew Garfield versions of Spider-Man show up in that in that movie. But honestly, let's be real. If the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies and the Mark Webb Spider-Man movies didn't happen, it just would have been Tom Holland. We would have seen 3 different versions of Tom Holland playing 3 very different versions of himself. That is what would have happened, in my opinion. The only reason that worked out the way it did, having the different actors, is because those movies existed, and it was just an easy way to tackle that topic. I don't know. What do you think, Carter?
See, I think that's on an actor-to-actor basis to do something like that. I think if you have the skill set, then I have no problem with it. If you can, well, shit, there's really nothing else to explain there. If you have the skill set to do it, well, shit.
Let's see. Sean Hope says, how powerful will MCU MODOK be? I don't think he's going to be OP. I don't even think he's going to be in the movie all that much. I mean, I think he'll be in the movie, but I don't think he's going to be like the main. He's obviously not the main, course as far as villains go. But yeah, I think he'll just be there. Honestly, I kind of feel like MODOK is going to be there just to be introduced and less to be, and maybe even be a little impressive, but they're not going to let MODOK outshine Kang in his debut. It just won't happen. I just don't see that happening. It would be a really dumb move on their part if they do let Darren Cross, big head ass, outshine Jonathan Majors in this movie. But I don't know, man. Let's move on to our next thing, Carter. This one is I don't know. Have you been keeping up with all the Spider-Man news going on lately?
Depends on what you're talking about. Movies, comics, what?
So, for those who do not know, recently, here, hold on. This is this thing's being silly. My bad. But no, so recently we saw Spider-Man Noir. Spider-Man Noir is apparently making his way to Amazon Prime. Which is interesting because that's not a character I expected to see anytime soon. In the grand scheme of things. But yeah, Spider-Man Noir is going to be making their debut in their own series that will likely be titled Spider-Man Noir on Amazon Prime. We don't really have a date yet for this because this is all still kind of early days. This is still kind of early days on this one. And what we do know is that this version of Spider-Man Noir is not going to be a Peter Parker. That's the thing that it was like the one bit of news that came out about this that was kind of, I won't say alarming, but was definitely kind of like a head scratcher, like, because, you know, most versions of Spider-Man are typically versions of Peter Parker. And in the case of Spider-Man Noir, that is the case.
Well, you could say Miles, so it's not.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I'm just saying, like, so like the version that we get, we don't know which version is going to be. We don't know if it's going to be like the Nicolas Cage version from the Into the Spider-Verse. It probably won't be because it kind of seems like they're keeping some of these things separate of one another. But we just know it's not going to be the Peter Parker from Earth 90214, which I just now realize is very similar to 90210.
90210. Yeah, that's where I thought you were going at first.
But no, but they did say it will be a setting that is in the like kind of 1930s, 1940s, like with the and I'm assuming it'll still have like the black and white aesthetic. Otherwise, what's the point? But beyond that, I'm starting to get concerned because, you know, Sony's at it again. I feel like every time that we start getting, you know, comic book, movie, TV, whatever universes that are somewhat coherent, here comes Sony saying, hey, we can do it too, but we're going to do ours separate from everybody else. Like, the idea that, like, you know, Marvel came along was like, hey, all our movies are going to be connected, and eventually saying, hey, all our movies and TV shows will be connected. And then here comes DC and like, hey, all our movies, TV shows, video games, and comics will be connected. And then here comes Sony like, yeah, we making Spider-Man stuff that ain't got shit to do with Spider-Man. At least not the main one. And ain't connected in any way, shape, form, or fashion to the MCU. Y'all take that. Like, take that. That's what it kind of comes off as. And I don't know. It might work. I mean, honestly, anything that's made well can be good. But I don't know, man. I'm getting concerned because we've already got Silk, Spider Society we talked about, like, what, a couple of months ago?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What do you think? You think this gonna make it?
So I'll say this: it doesn't have to be black and white,
Mm-hmm.
just because the whole black and white aesthetic was more so in Spider-Verse. They did Spider-Verse and the video game. I think it was Shattered Dimensions.
Yeah, Shattered Dimensions. Yep.
The original book was it was in color. Everything was in color. It was just
steampunk. Everything was very steampunk.
Now it's been fucking, oh my goodness, it's been a long time since I read that, because that was one of the first things I grabbed that I tell you how long ago that was. Remember when Marvel did the little digest TV guide Marvel Comics, the little digest?
Yeah.
That was originally how the noir books dropped, because that's how I had Spider-Man Noir. That's how I had X-Men Noir. If it follows the original book, we in for a bad time. Not because the book was bad, but it was messed up. Yeah, it was subject matter. Yeah, like with the way Uncle Ben caught it with Black Cat. But with it not being Peter Parker, it's very interesting.
Yeah,
and I'm wondering
it's an interesting take. It's an interesting take.
What are they trying to do here? If it's so just I don't know, man. But like with you saying this, and I know Silk is coming as well, it damn near makes me think they're trying to do some kind of like what they call that team Web Warriors.
Oh yeah. The Web War. Yeah, that is kind of the Now that you say that, that is kind of the vibe I feel they're going for.
So it's
That
just
is
I don't know. I don't know, man. And it's not even the fact that it's not Peter. It's everything else.
Well, yeah, no, 100%. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I really, really hope that whatever it is they're shooting for, I sincerely hope that it doesn't go ass over tea kettle. As far as what it is they're plotting to do. But yeah, man, I don't know.
I really don't know, because like you could it's doable, but then at that point you're almost going into more of the Invincible the Boys territory, not with gore or anything like that, but just like you were saying, like the subject matter, like case in point, Black Cat ran a brothel and was getting beat by her husband, if memory serves, or she was just getting beat, period, by men. Uncle
Which
Ben,
it was an uncomfortable read.
Uncle Ben got eaten by some kind of like cannibal or something like that. Now again, I could have my shit wrong here, because again, I ain't owned that book in years. I gave that book to a kid at Comics and Collectibles, Ernie. I gave that book away. Just because I had read it so many times, I had stopped reading it. Because it had two. It was two different books. It was a sequel to, because the sequel had or one of those books had art by Carmine Diadomenico. But again, just the subject matter, I don't know if they'd want to go that route with a Marvel property, but this is Sony, and I really hope they don't try to do the Spider-Verse stuff and make it funny, because with I don't know, it just feels like they're trying to do Web Warriors, and I don't know how you go do Web Warriors if you're just not gonna make it a Miles thing, because you can't make it a Tom Holland thing.
No, because this isn't even Sony. This is Amazon. Like, this is like both the Silk and the Spider-Man Noir will be Amazon series. They won't even be Sony series. They'll just be Amazon series.
Yeah, like if it followed the books, it'd be interesting to see if they go there. But I just don't know. I don't know. This just confuses me. I don't know.
100%.
I don't know what Kool-Aid they're drinking, or where. Like, I'd have to wait and see this. I don't know what to think about this.
Oh no, I'm right there with you. Before we get into our next thing, I do want to say real quick, man, we got 271 people in here, man. We got 103 likes. What are y'all doing, man? Come on, somebody, y'all hit that like button while you're in here, man. Help us out. Help a brother out. Hit that damn like button.
That's right. Thank you, Midnight Kel. It was the Vulture. That was how Uncle Ben caught it. Uncle Ben either saw something he ain't had no business seeing, but the Vulture in the Noir universe was a cannibal, and he ate him.
Oh, I didn't get that far. Or somehow I missed it. Somehow I blocked that. I don't know. Let's see. I mean, it is what it is. Here's what I will say. Let's move on to, because we got more Spider-Man news, Carter.
Okay.
Because you brought up Miles earlier. Well, guess what? We know the new and latest upcoming crossover for Spider-Man is going to be Miles Morales versus Carnage.
I don't care.
I mean, that's fair.
I'm so sick of Carnage.
Well, here's the thing. I'm interested in this for no other reason. The fact that it has an opportunity to play off some things that happened during Absolute Carnage between Miles and the Carnage symbiote that I'm very interested in. Not to mention, we got an interesting writing team here because, well, for one, For one, we have got Cody Ziegler, who is already writing the current Miles Morales Spider-Man series. They are going to be co-writing this series with Alex Packnadell, who has been a guest writer on Carnage as of late, on the actual Carnage series as of late. And I was a little disappointed, though, to find out exactly where this was going. Like, because now I might be a little bit off here, and forgive me if I am, because I'm a little bit behind on Carnage. But up to this point, I've been under the impression Carnage had just been operating on his own, independent of Cletus Cassidy or whatever. I know there's been a lot of changes lately. He's found like new hosts and or potential hosts, things of that nature. But that was kind of what I was hoping for. I was kind of hoping Carnage would just stay on his own. And granted, in this case, it's not so much that, it's not even really so much that it's just Carnage in this. It's actually more Cletus Cassidy than anything else. For those who remember, some of you may or may not remember the Extrembiote? The Extremia armor that Tony made back during the King of Black.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, apparently Cletus Cassidy's soul is trapped within it. And he is basically going to be running roughshod over New York, and this is how both he and Miles are going to cross paths. But I don't even really think that's the most interesting part. What I think is the more interesting part here is that this is supposed to play off some themes that are already set up in the Miles Morales comic right now. If you haven't been keeping up, basically Spider-Man Miles Morales has been in a bit of a funk as of late, because Miles is starting to realize, and I think it's funny it took him this long, he's just now starting to realize that sometimes he may be doing more harm than good when he's out there operating as Spider-Man. And there's a new villain out there who goes by the name of Rabble. Very silly name, but yeah, hey, it is what it is. Most superhero names are silly to me, if we're being brutally honest. But she apparently, and I think I have an image here of her, because I think she did show up in one of the recent issues of Spider-Man Miles Morales. So, for those who have, or maybe have or have not been keeping up, basically what happened was she's a character that... There you go. That's her right there. She is a character who also was trying to go to the Visions Academy, the same school that Miles got to.
Yes?
Somebody,
okay,
yeah,
I know this. Okay, now I know about the salty motherfucker. Okay,
yeah, she is. It's heavily implied that she is the one who Miles Morales displaced because he won the lottery to get into the school. Like, he didn't, like, because that's the thing I think people tend to not remember as much about his origin, is that to get into the Visions Academy, he had to be a part of a lottery. And in that lottery, there were other kids that could have gotten in that didn't get in. And it's hard to tell whether it was a situation where he got in and she didn't because he won. Like, and what I mean by that is, like, she would have gotten in otherwise had it not been for the lottery that they held, or if just him winning the lottery and her not winning it is the reason why. It can be taken either way, but point of the matter is, she has done all her homework on Miles Morales, figured out that he is Spider-Man, and she has video surveillance data on him, his family, his friends. She knows all of his little secrets, what he does, when he thinks nobody's watching him. And not only that, she's also supplying the other villains that Miles typically goes up against with upgrades to their tech. Like, what was the guy, Bumble, that was in the previous run of Miles Morales Spider-Man? He got an upgrade. Still got his ass kicked, but he got an upgrade. Scorpion just got an upgrade here very recently from her, and that's why this is... all of that is supposed to basically still be fresh in Miles' head while he's going up against Carnage. And of course, Carnage is, well, he's Carnage. I don't really care so much about the Carnage part. I just like the fact that Miles gets stuff to do. And hopefully more conversations with Misty Knight, which is heavily implied will be the case. But yeah, I don't know. I think it could be interesting. I'm curious. Crossovers and events have been kind of in a weird place for me as of late. Any of y'all who've watched my recent video for the finale of Dark Web will probably know how I feel about certain aspects of that. But yeah, I've just come to expect from Marvel whenever they do like a crossover of some sort, whatever it's advertised as is probably not exactly what it is. Case in point, Dark Web was advertised more as a crossover between Spider-Man and the X-Men, and while technically it was actually more of a Madeline Pryor come-up story, is really what it was, deep down, which I'm perfectly fine with. So yeah, it is what it is. We'll have to wait and see before we know any more about that, or what's going to be going on with it. But Carter, you already said you don't give a shit about this.
I don't give a shit. Dude, like, this actually goes back to something I was reading before we started, and it was people arguing about continuity, saying that these editors stopped giving a fuck about continuity ages ago, so you shouldn't either, because I guess fuck me for thinking everything that happened with Carnage and King in Black, and then Carnage Black, White, and Red, and him finally being gotten rid of since Eddie Brock did it. Fuck what I read, because we still got to pump out Carnage apparently. So it's just like,
it's
that's
30th
one
anniversary,
thing.
Man. 30th anniversary.
Like, you all don't have to keep finding ways to bring back Cletus Cassidy, because you already wrote in a great way for Carnage to still be Carnage. And you won't remember this because God bless you if you actually made the mistake of reading this shit like I did. But I think it was like Carnage USA or something like that. I remember Clayton Crane.
No. Oh no, I remember that.
Jesus Christ! So this is when Cletus had already been split in half by the Sentry, but he came back with some little ass legs, looking like Darth Maul in them animated damn Star Wars shows.
I thought you were gonna say Deadpool in Deadpool 2 when he got ripped in half by Juggernaut.
Oh no, I'm talking about the little spider legs he had, like with Darth Maul.
Yeah,
so, but my point was even bringing that up was basically that the Cletus and Carnage had been bonded for so long. The symbiote just acts like him now.
Yeah. That's yeah.
You ain't got to bring Cletus back no more. Now I'm reading in the chat from people saying now Carnage or Cletus is running around in the extrembiate suit, and you telling me about some soul shit like he Ermac or something. That shit is whack, man. But so I don't care about Carnage. Cody Ziegler, I'm not a fan of. And I do see people in the chat saying that his Miles has been pretty okay. I see it's been pretty good.
Yeah, I've liked I've liked it so far.
I didn't like the what if Miles Morales shit that he wrote. That was probably one of the worst fucking things I've ever read in years.
Okay.
So that's why I wasn't a fan of him, because of those what if Miles issue that he wrote, or I think it was more. I think he wrote more than one actually, but either way, it was bad. And I didn't like the Spider-Punk book issues that I had read.
Okay.
So that's why I was just kind of on him when it came to writing. But that's why this particular thing doesn't have me right now.
Yeah.
The girl just being an out and out hater, and that's her reason for doing all of this. Just it's funny because of our chat. It's funny because of each and every one of you guys with the comments you are making about this girl being a hater. So that would make me read
that
it.
should have been her name. Her name should have been the hater.
That will make me read it, just seeing how you are going in on this child. But I do see a couple of you all saying that you actually enjoy him on Miles, and maybe Miles is where he got his footing and actually got some sense.
Well,
So
I think
I'll
also
check it out for sure.
I mean, here's the thing about Cody Ziegler, and
Mhm.
and then we can go on from there. I mean, yeah. Say what you will about his what if,
Mhm.
about the Miles Morales, what if stuff. That is a whole other animal, beast, whatever you want to call it, altogether. I will definitely say that I've enjoyed. Well, granted, he didn't write the entirety. He didn't write the entirety of the She-Hulk Attorney at Law series.
Mhm.
He was one of the main writers on that show. The matter of fact, he was even in the show. In
Mhm.
that last episode where they broke the fourth wall. That was actually him sitting in there. But I didn't get as triggered by the what if Miles Morales. I actually kind of just took it as a joke which is what I kind of feel like it was intended as, and moved on with my day. But
Call the girl hate. They call the girl hate monger too.
hate
Like
monger
she
too.
rat catcher too.
Dude, I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. I think that's fair. Also, I will definitely say, if I'm, and I could be wrong, Carter. I could be incredibly wrong here. And if I am perfectly fine with admitting that I am wrong. I don't remember if he wrote all those what if Miles Morales issues.
No, he didn't. He didn't write all of them. No. He wrote the last. I think
he wrote
maybe one or two.
He wrote the first and the last one.
Yeah.
By my memory. The
Yeah,
one that I know everyone was upset about,
he didn't do that one.
He didn't write that one. He didn't write
No, he didn't do that one.
And I'm saying, oh, no, go ahead.
No. I'm just saying. I know he didn't write that one. I was having to check people were in my that were in my Twitter thread because they were going at him.
Oh,
for
I see what you mean.
The previous book, and I'm like, he's not the one who did that one. No. He did the following one.
Right, and that's the thing, and I also wanted to. I was mostly saying it too to reiterate for the chat because I didn't want chat going after him. Yeah, because you know how that goes. But no, I want to make it clear he's not the one who wrote the one that everyone's mad about. He wrote honestly the issues. I think the only reason people talk negatively about the 5th issue, because I think that was the last one, and that one came after the one everyone was mad about. So he kind of caught shrapnel by virtue of being the guy who came after that one. But I don't remember anyone having a problem with the first one that he did.
Wait,
I don't remember. Because he did the one with where Miles was Captain America, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is who I thought it was.
Who?
We got a super chat from E-Man's Movie Reviews.
Oh, hey.
Look up, see if that was exactly who I thought it was, because they're in here, and Empire Comics is in here. What is good? But yeah, I saw the E-Man. I'm like, is that who? Is that?
Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Oh, hey, wait. I was trying to click on the super chat, and then the chat jumped up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just shout out the E-Man's Movie Reviews, man. We appreciate you. Thank you for that love. Also, y'all, if y'all don't know, man, go swing through. Go swing through.
Yeah, that was the conversation everybody wanted us to have. Badly.
Which one?
With E-Man when it came to those recast T'Challa combos.
Oh,
those comments that were made. That's what everybody wanted to talk to.
I mean, I'll be brutally honest though. My opinion, no one is going to change my opinion.
Yeah,
about I think that's kind of thing. I don't mind having the conversation. Having the conversation because honestly, I feel like by this point it's a moot point.
Yeah.
But my stance will always be, sure, recast him, just not right now.
Hold on. Banky in the chat just saying Miles Morales, the ultimate hater. Salt in the game arc. That'd be a dope arc for a comic. Salt in the game.
Hey, man, look, Marvel, hit me up. I'd write it. Give it to me. I would write it. I would totally write that shit.
The Salt in the Game arc. I would read that. Just keep Carnage out of it. I'll read that.
Yeah, I would like. Well, and honestly, that's kind of why I like this current run of Miles Morales, is because it's going with the it's going with that aspect. You know what I mean? It's going with that aspect of a character having a beef with Miles that is personal. Like, it's not like I'm trying to take over the city. I'm trying to become the master of the universe. I'm trying to get rich. It's not that. It's someone who, like, legitimately has beef with him. Like, someone that's like, nah, you messed up my life. You took something from me. I'm coming to collect.
That boy has no luck with symbiotes. I do like that they have slowly but surely gotten him away from the inherent hatred and problems and issues with Venom.
Yeah.
And just slid a new symbiote in there. Like, bruh.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like I said, it's crazy because, like you said earlier, and I'm in 100% agreement with you on this, if nothing else. I was really happy when Cletus and Carnage were no longer together. Because have you read any of the current? Have you read any of the current Carnage? That's the one that's running currently. Which, if I'm not mistaken, is I think is Ram V.
A lot of you all are gonna be upset with me, and a lot of you all are gonna say, Carter, how could you? Ernie, I'd rather go to church.
Damn, that man said I'd rather go to church. Man, I'd rather go to church than read Carnage. I mean, but here's the thing. Here's one thing I'll give you, though. I've actually really liked Ram V's Carnage because Carnage is just doing his own thing. He's not trying to be... I mean, yeah, I guess he is technically trying to be like Cletus, but like, I mean, it's because he is Cletus by this point. But
is he trying to find him?
No, I don't think he's looking for him. He's trying to build a new Necro sword. Last I saw. He's trying to build... Like, basically what he's trying to do is... the last time... Matter of fact, right here, he wants to, basically what he's trying to do is, he's trying to build a new all black, but instead of calling it all black, it will obviously be called all red. Because matter of fact, the last thing I think, one of the last issues I remember, which I just realized I actually am caught up, but basically, he wants to... Yeah, because I'm looking at it right here. I'll pull it up so y'all can kind of see what I'm talking about. It says here, they call it all black, the Necro Sword, the Butcher's Blade. When Malekith wielded the weapon, he took on the Venom symbiote to do so, and the symbiote left its codex behind. The blade itself possesses power beyond knowing, but black is such an unimaginative color for a weapon of such exquisite taste, don't you think? I think we'll make a few modifications. So basically, he's gonna make his own version of all black, but it's gonna be all red.
So I like this. This sounds interesting because it seems like they're making Carnage an intelligent thing, and not when he was bonded with Cletus, a country bumpkin that's just a dumbass that's just a serial killer. If they're trying to smarten up Carnage the symbiote to do its own thing, I'll read that for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%. I like, and that's why I kind of said, like, say what you will about, I know some people aren't crazy about the current Venom right now, or whatever, which is technically co-written by Ram V and Al Ewing. But for me, I really like his Carnage. I like his Carnage because he's just, I don't know, he's more like he's the way I prefer Carnage, if that makes any sense.
Some people are good on some they're better with some characters than they are with others. I don't like his Venom. I'm with a lot of people that don't like his Venom stuff.
Yeah, that's
his
fair.
Carnage could be good. You and I have had this conversation too many times with like Cullen Bunn. Cullen Bunn is doo-doo water when it came to any book that brother was on until Magneto. And Magneto was fire.
Well, I mean,
So it really depends on the character. It really depends on the character with some people.
No, 100%, 100%. I will even say, you know, and I know you were a fan of this, but you remember the Swamp Thing series,
Okay.
the one that was out last year.
Oh,
That was Ram V.
Wait. Somebody kept recommending that to me too.
Yeah, I think Ed Boy in the Cup was one of the main ones.
I thought you were talking about the one that takes like 2 years between each issue. The black
no.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
I'm talking about the it was a 10 issue. Well, it was supposed to be a 10 issue run, and then it I think it got upgraded to get more. But Ram V wrote all of those, and they were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I really have to say about that, because yeah, we got more comic book news. We got more comic book news to talk about, but let's move on to Injustice. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, we got more Injustice coming our way. For those who have not been keeping up, and I think I kind of briefly glossed over it in the oh god, what was it? In the Action Comics video I did a ways back. But Injustice is coming back to DC Comics. And the funny thing about it is that it's gonna focus primarily on John Kent.
He's gonna make y'all like John Kent whether you like it or not.
Basically. Well, it's funny because there's some really cool things that are happening here. Well, for one, Tom Taylor and Clayton Henry is going to be providing art for this, but Tom Taylor is going to be writing this. It's going to be a 6-issue miniseries where I believe, The Adventures of Superman John Kent. And this is basically going to be a reintroduction for a lot of people, but will also kind of be leading into some of these issues will be leading into this new Injustice labeled series, where John Kent is going to be going into the universe of Injustice, and he's going to be meeting others. He's basically going to be kind of going on a tour where he's kind of investigating stuff that's going on with other Supermen, but more specifically, he is going to be wind up bumping into the Injustice version of Superman, most likely, which that in and of itself will be terribly interesting, I think. But yeah.
Okay, so why is Ultraman there if we're talking about Injustice? This cover confused me when I saw it.
Yeah, so here's the thing. For those who have not been keeping up, in Action Comics 1050, or was it 1051? I think it was 1050. They did this thing where Supermen across the multiverse were turning up dead. And I think Val Zod was the one who kind of swooped in and was like, "Yep, I'm gonna need some help with this one." And I think, if I remember correctly, I could be misremembering, I want to say he ended up reaching out to Jonathan Kent for the help. But yeah, let me see, and I'm pulling this up just to make sure I'm not misremembering how that whole line of events played out. But yeah, here it is right here. Bam. Yeah, elsewhere in the multiverse. Yep. It said, right here. This is what he's talking about. He says, "We don't need Superman. We need the sun." And this was the setup for that, apparently. But yeah, someone is murdering Superman across the multiverse. And it looks like it's going to be a job for your boy John.
I'm gonna make you like Jonathan Kent whether you like it or not. I don't care if you don't like the fact that he has a boyfriend that he kisses on the regular when he goes to save the day. You can be mad at that shit all you want. You know what we're gonna have him do? We're gonna have him solo the entire character roster from Injustice until you like him, you like Tom Taylor, and you shut your ass up. We liable to make an Injustice 3 and he be the only character that's playable.
Dude, you know what I can see? I can see NetherRealm, like when this comes out, like just stealth dropping a John Kent skin in the game.
You know what they ought to do?
They'll delete all the other Superman skins. They'll delete all the.
I do you one better. They put Superman in Injustice 3, but it's John.
Yeah, John.
But it's John.
They're like, yeah, Clark gone. They Clark out of here.
Like that be the only Superman ever in that game, and if you want Clark, you gotta pay for that motherfucking DLC.
And you know what?
You don't like Jonathan Kent, whether you like it or not.
Look. You know the messed up part about it? The messed up part about it is that I feel like no one had a problem with John Kent until he came out as bisexual. Because, like, I remember when he was in the Super Sons, and I was like, dude, this dude's cool. I like John Kent. He's adorable. And then that dude aged up and came out, and everybody was like, nope.
And I've still never read that book, and I haven't even watched the movie yet.
The Super Sons?
Oh, Herb Sweet. I ain't giving him ideas. This ain't gonna happen.
Oh,
When
yeah,
you book Injustice 3 up thinking you finna relearn all your Superman moves and you pick him and his intro is him kissing his boyfriend before the round starts, you gonna like Jonathan Kent.
Actually, you know
whether you like it or not.
Look, you know what's gonna be the best up part about it? They gonna put him in the War World. They gonna put him in the War World fit.
Dog.
Well,
That's as close to Clark as you gonna get.
Could you, dude? Look, hold on. Wait a minute. Could you imagine, Carter? Could you imagine if everybody was getting hyped because they say, "Hey, man, we got some new DLC coming out. DLC is gonna be Superman, and we gonna have him. We gonna have him in the War World fit." But it's gonna be Jonathan. And then they're gonna have him kissing his boyfriend in the War World fit.
Did you know how low down? But I would laugh. But you know how low down that would be that if you all had to pay for Clark Kent Superman in DLC? You can't even buy him by himself. You gotta buy a whole season pass to play with one Superman.
Well, he's the bonus character.
Playing with y'all, dog. You gonna like John Kent, whether you like it or not. One other comment I want to make, because you just brought up we need the sun. This is something I wanted to talk about last week, but with my stuff and my roommates and all that, I was really salty when I read this, and then you said it, and then I saw I remember the James Gunn announcement when he said that this first arc of the DC stuff is going to be Gods and Monsters. Because I really wanted the Superman from Gods and Monsters to pop up somewhere. So when they said the sun, I was kind of hoping, when you said like Zod, I was hoping, like I'm still kind of hoping for that. But that's a off comment thing here. Back to what we're actually talking about here. You gonna like John Kent. You gonna leave Tom Taylor alone on Twitter. You gonna y'all keep asking why he blue, because he John Kent, and you gonna like him whether you like it or not. That's why he blue.
Look, you're that certain subsector of people that wanted Superman Blue back. There you go. That's your Superman Blue right there.
Yeah, you got him back before New 52 ended when they combined him, because technically the New 52 Superman was the blue Superman, and the pre 52 red Superman. It was a whole thing. They already got this once before.
Oh yeah,
and the New 52 and the pre 52 combined, and that's how they became the Superman for Rebirth. So they've
Right.
already got it, but you gonna get it again because you gonna like Jonathan Kent, whether you like it or not.
Look, let me tell y'all something. Joel, you ain't shit. I pay an extra $64.99 to play as regular Superman.
That's solo down. Don't. That's the motherfucker you all need to be talking to in the chat right now. Don't give them ideas, bro.
Look, yeah.
Don't talk to me.
Dude.
Talk to him.
Look,
That man said him a smooth 65.
Look, the game already 70. The game already gonna be 70. And that, we ain't even talking about digital deluxe. That's just a regular cost.
Y'all, whew, Lord.
Look, y'all killing me on this.
You know what'd be worse? And this is in a perfect world. Joel C, your ass pay that $64.99 for Clark Kent Superman, and guess what NetherRealm gonna do? They're gonna make that motherfucker the sorriest person in that game. Cause you gonna like John Kent, whether you like it or not. Clark Kent gonna be about as low tier as that motherfucker wanna be in that game.
Dude, wait a minute, hold up. Did you see oh my god, I think it was it 1051? Did you see did you read any I think it was Action Comics. Yeah, it was 1051. It was 1051. I think. Yeah, 1051.
Right.
Where they got all the Supermens. All the Supermens, all the Supergirls. They got everybody in that motherfucker now. Like, if you was one of those people that's like, man, I really do wish they would just get back to just regular, like, look, regular ass Superman, and it's like, nah, pimp. All of them. Look at it. They even got.
I'm really excited. I really hope that Superboy book comes out. That won the round robin. It's cool to see him back there.
Yeah. No, I think he's gonna be back.
Who is that behind? Who is this next to Kara?
Talking about this cat?
with the motorcycle jacket on. Yeah. Who is that?
I don't think that's. Wait, that might be John.
Who are these people?
Yeah, it's a bunch. I think one of them.
They're all the youngsters, obviously.
Yeah. Well, the two on the bottom are from the War World deal, and that's Natasha Irons in the back.
Okay.
But
who is this? Okay, who is this front and center?
This is John.
You know why?
Do
you know why?
I think I know what you're gonna say, but I'm gonna allow you to say it.
You know why he front and center? Because that's Jonathan Kent, and you gonna like it, whether you want to or not. And Roybot06 in the chat, he is absolutely correct. Y'all don't start no homophobia, anything in that chat. He already got one person. I feel like I don't need to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I don't want to see it because I'm gonna get rid of y'all quicker than he can.
Oh yeah.
That is unnecessary. Apparently, it was only the one, and that's cool.
Yeah. Here's my thing, though. Here's my thing I want to. Wait a minute. Gabriel Knight, you ain't shit.
Gabriel Knight with the 1999 saying this super chat is to help people pay for that Superman DLC.
But no, I want to say, by the way, thank you for that 1999 super chat. It was right on time. I will say definitely too. Chill. Let's watch the homophobia because I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't float that. But my thing is, I know a lot of people are upset. But here's the thing you got to remember: Clark ain't going nowhere. He's still around. He's still doing stuff. He's there. It's kind of like, how we have Jace Fox as Batman. Bruce ain't gone. Mm-hmm. He's still there. Bruce still there. Same thing with Miles Morales. Peter, he's still there.
That's not okay. So what you just said, it's not a good argument because Bruce is still there. Jace Fox over there somewhere. Let's keep it a buck. And everybody talks about Chip Zdarsky on Batman for a fucking reason because it's front and center, and that book is A1. Superman is over there somewhere because the big dog big time John Kent. That's what they call him. You just don't know about it because you ain't keeping the same circle. Big time John Kent. His book is front and center because he is John Kent, and you gonna like him whether you like it or not.
True. I mean, here's the thing though. For me, I'm perfectly fine with John Kent. I don't have any beef with him. My opinion of him did not change after Super Sons, because effectively, outside of being bisexual, he's still kind of the same character, just older, and progressed in ways that you would expect of someone who rapidly grew up from being a preteen to being a teen. But I will definitely say the levels of energy that DC is bringing with John Kent is very reminiscent of something Marvel did that Marvel is still criticized for to this day, even though it's not even a thing anymore. Back when Iron Man was in a coma or presumed dead, when Steve Rogers got the super soldier serum slurped up out of him and was an old ass man, when Thor couldn't pick up the hammer, yeah, and Marvel was like, "This is the all new, all different," and guess what? This all you got. But the difference being DC is still giving you, whereas in the case of all new, all different, you weren't really still getting the like I mean, I guess technically you did get a standalone Thor title. It was just a very short-lived miniseries. And in the case of like Captain America, I guess technically you still got Captain America, but yeah, but it's one of those things like, yeah, this is the same energy I'm feeling off DC here when it comes to John Kent. And this could either backfire spectacularly or it could turn out to be good. I like Tom Taylor. I think Tom Taylor's great. I don't have any beef with him, but I will definitely say that if you were not already a fan of John Kent, I don't know if this will make you a fan of John Kent, regardless of what DC wants you to do.
I'm more interested in seeing what Tom Taylor is going to do with Injustice.
Yeah,
and because, and I hope people don't get this the wrong. I hope people don't. To me, that's really the book that made him.
Yeah,
that made him the name that he was. Because and I've talked about Deceased before because that book had no right to be as solid as it was. Yeah. So I'm more interested in just seeing him get back in that Injustice world and see what he does in it, because the video games are one thing, but Tom Taylor's really the one who made that world to me. Yeah. Yes, NetherRealm did their part, but still, the body of work, that's what I was looking for. The body of work that he did with Injustice was really outrageous. So I'm really more interested in seeing what he's going to do with this. Well, I think either way, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good.
Either way, I think you have your reasons for enjoying it. I have my reasons for enjoying it. And I think a lot of people are just going to enjoy it flat out.
Yeah.
Because it's John Kent and you going to like it whether you want to or not.
Look, I will say this. While I know that when John Kent was first announced as being bisexual, a lot of people didn't like it. There were a lot of haters. But here's the thing I want y'all to understand. Don't live in a vacuum. Because I'm going to use the same argument I used to justify why Avatar, despite so many people claiming they don't give a fuck about them blue cat people movies, still made billions of dollars at the box office in a time where people typically don't go to the movie theater like that unless it's a Marvel movie.
I knew I hadn't kept up with anything Superman because when that announcement came out, I was just really fucking confused.
Yeah.
Because why is this little boy gay?
Mm-hmm.
Why is this little boy bisexual? And then it took somebody telling me that, and the reason I was thinking that, and again, this is why I say I don't read a lot of Superman books. I was still thinking that was still Super Sons.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so before all this, John went into space with Jor-El. And they traveled out in the far reaches of space. And because of the way time works and all other stuff, when they came back, John was aged up. If I remember correctly. It's been a while.
They hyperbolic time chambered him? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah.
Which made it funny because in Super Sons, I know you say you didn't read Super Sons, right?
Not a lot. Not a lot.
So the whole beef in Super Sons between Damian and John was that John wanted to join the Teen Titans when Damian was still leading it. And Damian said, you can't join it because you ain't a teenager. You still 12. And that was like the whole joke. But then John left and came back. Now he older than Damian.
Yeah, but that was always why I was just so confused and like, what the fuck is DC doing? He's still a kid. Didn't realize he went into space and came back grown. So that was my beef until I found out.
Yeah,
he gotten older.
Yeah.
So that was always my thing.
Yeah. Well,
they interstellared him.
Yeah, no, they really did. They really did. They really did. I'm not lying. But no, so, and I think it's funny because, people always try and use, and because I see it here in the chat, people always try and use the manga versus American comics thing. Here's the deal. Manga makes as much as it does because the manga industry beats its writers and artists into submission and overworks the shit out of them. That's why you get to enjoy manga and anime, because those industries overwork the people who make those comics for you. So I hope you enjoy it, because basically what you're enjoying, in a roundabout way, is slave labor. They don't make as much money, and they don't get as much out of it, and they literally have to turn around books like that. That's why so many fucking mangas are on hiatus right now. But that said, it doesn't matter, because you can't really compare the two, because they're apples and oranges. Even though they're same medium, they're not even really the same thing. So it is what it is. But that said, I will go on to say that, to kind of, because we've actually talked about everything but what this book is actually about. But this is actually going to be set, let's see here. This takes place, of course, obviously, in the alternate DC universe where Superman has become a full-on murderous villain after he's tricked into killing Lois Lane and his unborn child by the Joker. Speaking about how, how this is all supposed to work out between the Injustice Superman and John Kent, Tom Taylor, in a roundabout way, just said he really couldn't describe it yet, but it'll be a big moment, but went on to say that it's right, as far as like where the comic's going to take place, is right at the core of it around Injustice 2, Year 5, which people know is around the game time. It's a really exciting time, and it's one of my favorite times to write as well. Who's alive during that time, the dynamics, and what that means for John, because it's not just his father. There are other characters, other players, and other people that he knows in that timeline who are very different from how he knows them in his timeline. And seeing him interact with their different personas and what's happened to them and how he hopes to help is a huge part of the story. And he also went on to say that fans can expect Injustice's Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman to all show up in Adventures of Superman John Kent, while the young Superman will also cross paths with a completely different version of Damian Wayne. So this is literally John's best friend and is essentially not on the side of the angels in this world, as Tom Taylor has pointed out, and that is going to give us a very fun, entertaining dynamic and quite a tortured dynamic to play with. So, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of opportunity for some interesting storytelling here using John Kent, versus using actual Superman, like, or Clark.
It makes me think about what James Gunn said about consistency in the films, the TV shows, the comics, and the games, because John is going to see a Clark that I think I think he went back to prison at the end of Injustice 2. I think.
I don't remember. Yeah, here's the thing. Full
I can't.
disclosure. Full disclosure here. Full disclosure here. I never played Injustice 2, the story mode of it. I have played like just picking up the sticks and fighting against somebody in that capacity, but I never played the story mode when the game came out. Someone did a video where they basically recorded the entire, like, all the cutscenes from the game in one cohesive story.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's how I saw it. So it's been so long since I've seen it. I think you might be right.
Yeah, because I think,
but I don't remember.
I think they beat Brainiac, and then Batman and Batman sprung on him.
Mm-hmm. That rings a bell.
It had two different endings. I remember it had two different endings, but I feel like he's back in prison. So, so having John interact with that Clark could be interesting, because you could be like, I did. Because in a sense, if Tom Taylor wanted to spin it like this, I did all this because you died, you got killed.
Yeah,
you could spin it like that. But
right.
The reason I bring up the James Gunn stuff is because that could very easily them going into the Injustice. It's melding that, so that could very easily lead to Injustice 3, the video game. You know what I mean? That could very easily lead into another fucking Injustice animated movie. So
hopefully a good one.
That man. So yeah, if that's what's gonna happen here, if this is how we're seeing those cogs start to turn, that would be dope.
I mean, here's the thing, and Xylism brought up something too that I forgot about. I forgot that game had two different endings, but yeah, I think you are right. Superman's ending, I believe, is actually the canon ending, as far as I'm aware. But here's the thing: what can work for this is that it's not some rando dude who never wrote an Injustice comic a day in his life writing this. It's not like some other dude wrote it and they're like, hey man, we're gonna bring in this hotshot writer, and we're just gonna have him do his thing. No, Tom Taylor wrote all of this shit. So if anybody was gonna write it, it would be. It's not like he hasn't been writing Injustice for like
this
the last.
This is not a J.J. Abrams Spider-Man thing.
No, not even close. Yeah. And here's the thing: if you don't like it, don't fucking read it. Shit. Have an uninformed opinion.
They going, but here's the thing though: they're going to read it.
Oh yeah, they'll read it. They'll read
because it's John Kent, and you gonna like him whether you want to or not.
Exactly, Carter. Exactly. I say it's a fine enough time. Let's move into our recommendations for the week, Carter. What you got, man?
That's a very good question. What I do? You know what? Mine is something that you've already done a video on, and I was really not expecting to. So here's a plug for your video.
Damn.
Static Season 2 started this week, and as someone who thought that the first season with Vita Ayala, that first arc of Static was probably the weakest of the bunch out of all the milestone stuff that came back. Just this one issue alone didn't just turn all that around, dude.
Yeah.
Ebon's Vita Ayala and Nicholas Draper Ivy showed you that he ain't got to be in there long.
No.
To get your point across.
No.
That man was at the end, and I want to read this. I was really surprised at this issue, because this issue, even if you take Ebon out of the equation, it said a lot. This book said a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh no, this book got something to say. It's got something to say.
Like this book had a lot to say on certain topics that people are immediately gonna complain about. Where hey, what you doing over there? Hey. So even if you take him out of the equation, I just think this was a really good return to Static, and like I said, it really did I'm hoping that every issue just gets subsequently better. Ebon was the highlight for me, but that's not to say that everything else in this book was not just as good.
Oh no,
So
Reggie Hudley co-signed. Reggie Hudley co-signed what I said about it. So that was all the validation I needed on my opinion of it. I say
you know
read
what?
it.
Yeah, Witch Doctor Sun saying this book ain't subtle. Not at all.
Oh no. Oh no. This book, let me, you know what? I want to piggyback you. I want to piggyback you a little bit on what you just said here because I already kind of mentioned in my video for it, but the part where they get to the point where they're talking about the police trying to jump on that woman, the elderly woman for being homeless or unhoused rather.
Yeah.
I thought that and how the police responded to it and how it literally took an entire army of people to shame them into leaving her alone. But yeah, that is it's pretty wild. What you said was that panel makes the Static logo with his board. Wait, was it?
I feel like that's something that happened recently as well,
Yeah,
Annie. I did see a video like with a community of people kind of got together to have the police officers leave a homeless person alone or something like that. I feel like that's something that happened recently.
Yeah, no, like I said, it was very on time. It was very on time.
Yeah.
I loved it. I'm glad you checked it out. I'm glad you checked that out because I was wondering if you would.
That's why I said, like, to me, that was one of the weaker book. It was probably the weakest book in that first season to me. But this first issue had everything was on point in this first issue. I really wouldn't mind saying what Nicholas Draper Ivey, what he contributed to it, since it's him on writing duties as well this go around. But yeah, if this first issue was any indication, that brother got a nice ass future ahead of him.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, 100%. And not to mention, he's like one of the most down to earth people too. Just really down to earth individual. And honestly, to my estimation, the way that Nicholas Draper Ivey and Vita y'all have collaborated on Static in the past, I personally feel like they were also not necessarily maybe where Nicholas wasn't getting the credit for it, but I do remember like there are aspects of the first season of Static that were Nicholas Draper Ivey and Nicholas Draper Ivey alone. Because I remember the shot I always talk about where Static is rocking the Kamen Rider look and pose. When I credited that to Vita, they said no, that was 100% Nicholas Draper Ivey. That was all him. Not just from an artistic perspective, but just like the idea of having that there. So yeah, I mean, Nicholas Draper Ivey has always kind of given the impression that they have the capacity to tell compelling stories. I want to see what they do with this. And once again, and I think I said this, I've said this multiple times and since we've been doing this, but I don't have the same nostalgia for Static Shock that a lot of other people do, hence why I honestly don't have the same. I like the character of Ebon in this. I don't really have as much of a huge shine for him in the cartoon, but largely because I just don't have a huge shine for the cartoon as a whole. I wasn't watching it back then, so I don't have the same same nostalgia for it that other people would. It's kind of like I was listening to a guy talk about, with video games, how everyone loves Ocarina of Time, especially if you played it back when it first came out. But if you hand that game to somebody that never, they would look at that and be like, dude, what is this? What buffoonery is this? And that's the same way. It's the same way I feel about Batman Beyond, Static Shock, so on and so forth. Anything that came out around that time frame, I wasn't there for it. But I can still enjoy it, and I can still appreciate why people enjoy it. But the Static cartoon is kind of hard for me to watch. I hope they update it. But I like Ebon. I like what they're doing with him. They're making him a villain. They're letting him be a menace. And on the same or similar level to what Holocaust is over on the Blood Syndicate side of things, which I like. Because honestly, and I stand by what I said in that video, I think that if Holocaust wasn't a crack dealer and a pimp and mercilessly beating women and getting them strung out on crack and also had firepower, same as another character that was already on the show, Holocaust probably would have been on the Static Shock cartoon instead of Ebon. So I'm glad that Ebon is actually getting a chance to kind of step out and be their own character, which I think is awesome.
Can I ask you this and we can move on?
Yes, sir.
I feel like, do you think we got the lesser of two evils? Because let's say you don't particularly feel any kind of way for Ebon.
Yes.
What if they gave your ass Rubber Band Man?
Well, they kind of did.
What you mean?
We're getting him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So in the book where he kept saying, "Where's my brother?"
Mm-hmm.
That's who he's talking about. He's talking about Rubber Band Man. You
think they're gonna draw him to look like Dwayne Wayne?
They might. Because that was who voiced him. What was Kadeem Hardison on the show? It's funny because going back and having watched some of it, because like I said, I didn't really start watching Static until like some years ago, like very recent, like within the last few years. It was literally the first time I ever actually like actively watched it. It wasn't just something that was on and I happened to be in the room. But I can see it. I would love to see that, honestly. Also, I wonder if he's still gonna be trying to pipe out Static's sister. But yeah, I'm down for it. I mean, we're gonna get Rubber Band Man. I think we're gonna see some other characters too. We've been seeing a lot of the characters from Static Shock show up on here. Like a lot of the meta breed has been in the first season. And I think especially with everything going on now, I think we're just gonna see more of it. I'm gonna be real quick with mine because if I talk about it, it gives the game away. Mine is Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion number 4. If you've not been reading the series, I don't know what to tell you. It's fantastic. It is one of the best stories out there right now. But basically, long story short, the Secret Invasion is on and popping again, and Maria Hill has to figure out who is behind it. And this cover does kind of spoil a little bit of it, but you will not see how it works out coming because the crap that Ryan North is pulling from to make this story even the least bit coherent comes from a comic I know maybe only 2 of y'all in the chat have actually read, and it's Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. And I'm just going to leave it at that. That's all I got to say.
Okay. I see. I thought so. They pulled another Gene Janier in this because they don't know who the fuck Gene Janier is.
Okay. So here's what I'll say. So it was one of the last issues of Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, and I know I read that book, but I know a lot of other people didn't, because they don't like fun. And that's what Unbeatable Squirrel Girl was. It was just a fun book. And I loved it. But yeah, it definitely pulls from that. And you get to see some of the darker sides of Maria Hill in this, like how far she's willing to go to stop a second Skrull invasion. And it has a lot of similarities to John Carpenter's The Thing in some spots, and it also and maybe some other similar style stories. But I love it. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. But there we go. That's the recommendations for the week. Let's go ahead and get into our questions from the Discord. But actually, before we do that, I'm gonna go back and read some super chats here. We got one from Gokon Sure His Baby's Father. This was back when we were talking about John Kent. He says, "No, I won't like it." Look, let me tell you something. A lot of y'all in the chat are trying to be like Mr. Horse from Ren and Stimpy, and I'm sorry, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We just have to go with it. We just have to go with it. But for all the haters in the chat, I will do that.
No, sir, I don't like it.
There you go. That's for y'all. That's for y'all. Uh, anyway, we got one here from Walter Baptiste with the 1999 Canadian super chat. Says, I love that Carter never hides his feelings. Any TV suggestions, guys? Well, I will definitely say Mayor of Kingstown. Which I'm still enjoying. What about you, Carter?
Their mama's getting on my nerves, dude.
Oh, she doing too much. You know what she is?
Their mama getting on my. Oh my God, she getting on my nerves.
But you know what? You know why she's getting on your nerves though? Because she's real. She's real. Like that's a
no.
She
no.
Well, no, I'm talking about from the perspective of that. Like she's like the prototypical white neoliberal. Like she's doing too much to try and be, a good, like, you trying too hard to be a good person to the point that it is to her own detriment is where I was going with that.
I just, and maybe it's because I know you're married, but white, black, whatever. I don't see your wife just taking an ass whooping and then getting mad because the police got him and then lay hands on him.
Oh, that? Yeah. Okay, so let me be real with you. My wife would not do that. My wife would not do that. If
that shit was so, boy.
Like, okay, I'll give you this much. My wife would probably be angry. Like if it was one of those situations where, like, if she was present and saw it, she probably would get angry. But if she like found out later, she would probably still be angry, but maybe not as angry. Because my wife is sensitive to that sort of stuff. And before anyone says, oh, it's because she's married to a black, that has nothing to do with it. She's always been that. My wife is the most bleeding heart person I have ever known in my life. She is the ultimate bleeding heart. And honestly, her bleeding heart has bitten her in the ass so many times, but I always tell her that I hate that aspect of her, but I also love it at the same time, because if she was not that way, she would have left me a long time ago. Because she would not put up with my shit. But no, I get where you're coming from though, because that was okay. That part, even Cynthia was like, no. She was like, nah, that ain't it. She was like, they beat your ass. They could have killed you. But yeah, Carter, what you got?
I'm trying to figure out. I don't even think I'm watching anything currently. There isn't anything currently that's just getting my attention. I was actually having conversations with friends, and we started talking about old shows that we started picking back up. Here's one for you. Into the Badlands.
Bruh, that show has come up a couple of times. Like, it's funny you bring that up, because I forget what streaming service I was on, but like I saw it on there. I was like, damn, I haven't seen this in a minute.
It was on AMC.
Okay, that's what AMC Plus. That's where I saw it. That's where I saw it.
But yeah, one of my buddies, he didn't even know that show existed, and then he watched it and got salty because it got canceled.
What was it? 2 seasons? 2 or 3?
3.
Okay.
Let me see. Oh, here, because I just recommended it to somebody else who's a fan of The Boys. Banshee.
Oh yeah, because old boy
Anthony Starr.
Yeah, Anthony Starr. That's his show.
That's the show Homeland came from. Really good action show. I don't want to spoil anything about it. If you have HBO Max, hopefully you do. Banshee, it's on there. It's on there.
I think that show ran, what was it, 3 seasons?
4
seasons, I think. Yeah, 4 seasons. 4 seasons. Yep. Lucas Hood.
Yeah.
I actually need to go back and watch that, because I don't think I ever finished it. But that show is like, there's a lot of great TV out there that I've kind of been going back and like either revisiting, because like shows like this, like Banshee, Bosch, they were shows that I started, never finished, and it's like I'll go back and be like, man, I need to go back and like finish that. But I always have a hard time going back and watching cop dramas now, or things that are like crime, related, just because I have a completely different opinion of them now. Like, The Shield is a very difficult show for me to watch nowadays. Like, I used to love that show. I used to swear by The Shield. And in light of recent events, when I tried to go back and rewatch some episodes of it, I was like, yeah, I fucking hate this show.
Yeah, Bosch is one where I'm mad it was on Amazon because that show is really good. I've been watching the Bosch Legacy. I finished that recently.
Oh, see, and there you go. I actually this it further reaffirms why.
Okay, so just so you know, it is legit a continuation of Bosch. They just like switched networks.
Okay,
it's literally a continuation.
Okay.
They just have to change the name of it.
Oh, okay. Because when you put Legacy in there, I'm thinking like, is this like a prequel or like further down the road? Like, okay, all right, cool. I just like the main actor of that show because I love that dude in just about everything I've ever seen him in. Was it Titus? Yeah. Titus Welliver?
Yeah.
Oh, dude's fantastic. But yeah, those are definitely all recommendations, easy recommendations. Also, Warrior. If you brought up Into the Badlands, Warrior. That's a not the same type of show, but just in the sense that there's a heavy focus on martial arts. Warrior's a very good show. Let's excuse me. Let's get to our oh shit, fucking dying, man. Oh, wait a minute here. We got one here. We got one from the homie. Dude, Jonathan Moda coming in here with the 25 months in the diamond mine, working hard. Says, sorry I'm late catching up on the stream, but wanted to say thanks. Hey, anytime, my brother. Maverick, you don't have to say nothing after everything you've been doing.
Gearless Joe Moda.
Yeah, right? Which, by the way, apparently I just learned, was it Megalobox?
Yeah.
It's on Peacock.
Well, how many seasons?
I think it's just the first one.
Okay, because it's
like 3.
There is 2.
Oh, it's just 2. Okay, got you.
Yeah, I literally just finished the sequel to it last night.
Good lord, dude! Wait a minute. What the heck is bruh? Did you see this in here? We just got 200 Kenyan shillings.
What the hell?
Yes, that's what KES is a Kenyan shilling.
I don't even see that popping up for me anywhere.
It's in the
Okay, now that was late. Okay.
Thank you for that, brother. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Millman.
I just think it was well. No, the reason why it was so crazy to me too is because like I was sitting there thinking, I was like, I had to think about it really long and hard about what currency that was. I was like,
oh wow.
I was like, KS. I was like, oh shit. I keep forgetting. Like, dude, we got peoples out here, man. Thank you for that, Mailman. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you for that. Always, right on time, my brother. I think we have gotten caught up on super chats. We're gonna officially jump into Discord questions. We got a few here. We got one from the homie Melvin. Says, and also I have an announcement I'm gonna make because the homie Melvin made me realize this, and talking with some other people have made me realize this. I have an announcement to make when we get to the end of the show. But it's gonna be a sad announcement because I'm getting rid of something. But the homie Melvin says, happy Black History years, my brothers and sisters. Hope y'all are getting those likes up. You are taking care of yourself, and you're building a better you. Here are my questions. Staying with Black History Month theme. What are some books or media that deal in black folks in voodoo, hoodoo, and other mystic arts? This question came about when watching a couple of documentaries on the subject, and it got me curious. Thank you and this question is protected by the red, black, and the green. Man, we appreciate you, pimp. Man.
Shadow Man.
Yeah. There's that. Yep. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go in a weird route, and I want y'all to stick with me on this, and I don't want to say too much else beyond this, because saying more than that will give the game away. But one of my favorite horror movies of all time is called The Skeleton Key. And that's all I really want to say about it. If you've never seen The Skeleton Key, take a watch. It's one of my personal favorite movies, and without giving away too much, is also one of those movies that has like a twist that I find very funny. Just based on the nature of what happens at the end.
Kate Hudson, right?
Yeah, Kate Hudson. That's Kate Hudson. Kate Hudson. She plays she plays a character who works in hospice.
That's what it's called.
Yeah,
okay.
She works in hospice. She travels. She's a traveling hospice worker. Basically, if those know what that means, hospice is basically where
take care of old people. Taking care of old people.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say until you said hospice. I couldn't remember the name of it.
Well, you're taking care of elderly people, or people, and more specifically, people who are on the verge of death. Like it's indisputable these people are about to die, and you basically just care for them, look after them, make sure that they're okay, that whatever. And like I said, I don't want to say anything more because to say more about it would completely ruin the purpose of watching the movie. But I will say that movie, and while it does deal in what I think are some very sensationalized aspects of hoodoo, I do think that the ending is just so hilarious. But anyway, that's all I want to say about it. We got another one here from the homie Qdoma says, hello, I hope you and Carter are doing good. My question of the day is, could Sins of Sinister lead to a Clone Wars type of story later down the line? Ooh. Like, if we're talking Clone Wars, like Star Wars Clone Wars, I wouldn't want that. Because I think we're already kind of lousy with clones right now as it is. We can't give away clones at this point. We can't even give them away. But I do think we will see more. I just don't want to see an army of them. I don't want to see an army of them. We might. I don't know. We might before this is all over. You never know. But technically, we kind of have seen an army of Sinisters before. And that was, while it was funny, it was very short-lived because it gets real silly. Carter, have you caught up? Did you read Storm and the Brotherhood?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
It was everything about this story so far has surprised me just because I thought this was going to be just kind of an alternate, kind of like I told you, like an Age of X kind of deal.
Okay. Yeah.
So to know that all this is it's something that's happening now, and this is how everyone's dealing with it is really, really dope for me. I'm enjoying that. I enjoyed it more than Cable War College.
Oh, but a bishop.
Yeah, and because Danny Moonpie was getting on my fucking nerves in that book.
I mean, she was. I mean, she wasn't wrong though. I
mean, she wasn't, but it's just like
it was how. It was the how.
Yeah, like right message, wrong messenger. Your movie was trash. Get out of my face. But no. I really liked the stuff with Storm. It brought back the fire of hatred I have for Mystique. Because I used to be sick of that character and wanted her to die so many times. And people let her do just enough, and then that snake bites you, and you're shocked. So I think that was the only thing I guess you would even say was a negative. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, but I liked it.
We got one from Jay Dislis. Question on Storm and the Brotherhood. Can you explain how Mystique as WizKid was able to do the special gadgetry to steal the Moiras? Okay, well here's the thing. So this, they said, am I tripping, or does Mystique's gift help her mimic WizKid's powers? No, that was not what, that wasn't her. They were using tech from Orbis Stellaris to do it. Orbis Stellaris got Mystique access to Shi'ar technology. That's how they teleported everything. It wasn't Mystique still cannot mimic the powers of other people. She can only mimic their appearance. That's it.
She can only do that in Marvel Snap when she mimicked the power.
Yeah, which I thought was such a weird thing because I figured, you know what, I don't want to go there because it's something I could literally talk about for hours. So I'm not going to do it. I've always felt I don't know. Anyway, I'm not. You know what? Let's just carry on here. But yeah, that is called that is her using the tech that Orbis Stellaris has supplied to her. I cower over nothing. Says, who do you think will get the nod for Spider-Man Noir? Do you think it will be Ben Reilly / the Clone, aka Chasm, or Amadeus Cho / Iron Spider, or Hobie Brown, aka Spider Punk? I don't think it'll be any of them. I think they're just gonna make up a character. The way that the announcement was, it just sounds like they're just gonna make up a new character, or maybe they'll make up a new character who has a name very similar to Peter Parker, or someone who might sound like a character they could later connect to Peter Parker in some way if they so choose. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't do the alternate reality thing at all. If they just decided to just make it Spider-Man in the 1930s, I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. Like, make it be someone who either Peter is descended from, or just another person who happened to get spider powers, or something along those lines.
Well, shit. Speaking of that, since we were talking about the voodoo stuff, he didn't get bit by a spider in the war. It was some kind of spider god hoodoo.
Yeah. It wasn't a radioactive spider with who fell off. Who fell off of him and died, but bit somebody else beforehand.
It did spider root.
Oh yeah, no. Look, hey, just listen to Aunt May, man. Make sure you wear a raincoat. We got another one here from Urban Princess Strong Style. Says, evening, good brothers. Question: should Doctor Doom have nuance like Magneto, or is he fine the way he is? Well, it's funny you bring that up. I feel he does have nuance, because he is a good guy when he wants to be. Like, Dr. Doom, like, you know how, what was it, to quote an old Chris Rock-ism, says, where he said, what was it, a woman is only as loyal as her options? That is how Dr. Doom is. That is a statement that is more accurate to Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is as loyal and is as altruistic as his options. If Dr. Doom thinks that he can get the most bang for his buck, the most value out of a situation by doing something good, he'll do the something good. But he's not doing it because it's good. He's doing it because it's selfish. Like, Dr. Doom doesn't just do stuff that's good for the benefit of other people. It has to benefit him in some way. And even when he is good, there's a high chance he might turn on you, just kind of like what Carter was just saying about Mystique. Everybody was just, oh yeah, Mystique, so great. She's so great. Oh, wait, I forgot. She's a scorpion. I carried her across the river on my back. She's a scorpion. But go ahead.
One of my favorite Doctor Doom stories was from Bendis, Infamous Iron Man.
Yep.
He was a good guy in that book. And then someone called him out, and basically he had to admit that he was only being a good guy, not to carry on the Iron Man name, but no, he had been a bad guy for so long and it wasn't working. So let me do this and see and see how this work out. That was the only reason he was being a good guy in the book. So,
and I'm pretty sure being, a quotey fingers better Iron Man than Tony Stark also was icing on the cake for him at that. Ed Boy in the Cut says, just read Al Ewing's Mighty Avengers. Did y'all know Luke Cage's pops, Blade and Blue Marvel were teamed up before? Bruh, Al loves him some black folk. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I read the fuck out of that book.
Yeah, no, I read that. Yeah, because I forget which issue it is, but it's one of the later ones where they flash back to the past and you see like all of the, like how they all know each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Al, here's the thing. And I've said this so many times to other people at comic shops and just out in the world. And I think I've probably said it a few times here, but I'm going to reiterate it. You remember that, what was it, in Barbershop, when they were making the joke about ribs better than black people? They said so-and-so makes ribs better than black people. Al Ewing is damn near the comics equivalent. I don't think he writes black people better than black people, but he's trying real hard. He's trying real hard to get there. And it just, I don't know, because even in his book, We Only Find Them When They're Dead, like, there's plenty of black people in that story. Some good, some bad. And I mean, by good and bad, I mean like their motives and their moral compass. Not that they're written badly. But no, Al Ewing is the type of guy who he believes in the old Stan Leeism that comics should represent the world outside your door. And I love it. Love to see it. But yeah, we got another one here. This is from J. Rye, and then we're going to jump into questions with chat, so y'all go ahead and start getting those in there. J. Rye says, is it just me, or is Eddie Brock being portrayed weaker now that he's a king in black? Null was much more powerful. I feel like it's a waste. Okay, so the reason why is because Eddie is human. Null was an entity. He was the power. Eddie just has it. And while right now he is definitely seemingly weaker than Null, people keep forgetting that the other Venoms that he's been interacting with are all just him, just at different points. So Meridius is pretty damn powerful. And that is who he will ultimately become. He's still learning how to use the power. He literally just got the shit. And we already saw how it was making him age faster at first. So I mean, he's going through some growing pains with it. But I will definitely say, he's nowhere near as powerful as Null, and I don't think he should be, if I'm being brutally honest, because I think we know how that's going to turn out. I think we know
if they go that route, it should kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's human at the end of this.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Let's see. Let's get some super chats in here real quick because we are kind of getting close to that time, and we're actually doing very well. I didn't want to jinx it. We got one here from BS Filter with a $5 super chat. Says Bosch is off the hook. Recently found out that his brother is the Lincoln lawyer in the books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is, dude, which by the way, I have so many books to read. Oh my God. Actually, I'm just going to listen to them. I don't know why I'm saying read. I'm just going to listen to them. I'm going to have somebody read me stories.
True story. True story. I was in Santa Monica. I had gotten off work one morning and I was walking to the next bus stop. Marlo, his partner on the show, J. Edgar, he and I just so happened to be walking into the same Chase Bank. And I said J. Edgar, and he just looked at me and he laughed and he was like, you know what? Thank you for that one and not calling me what everyone else normally says. He was talking about Marlo.
Oh.
So yeah, that's just some funny LA shit that happened to Carter one time. Yeah, but I legit just said J. Edgar. Just going into I literally just going into the same Chase Bank. It was the funniest thing.
We also got another. We got the 99.99 super chat from Jonathan Moda, and you know what? Exactly what he says. I just wanted to hear the Final Fantasy wind chime. This guy, man, we appreciate you, Pimpin'. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for that, man. Just out here, man, doing the most, and I love it.
If you don't mind,
go ahead,
real quick, because he said it multiple times and I've seen it. But Shaman 05 line saying, "Hey Ernie Carter, even though he spelled your name completely wrong, it's my birthday weekend. Can I get some respect on my name? Honestly, I would do that for you, but first, to be completely honest." I'm going to need you to give respect to Jonathan Kent because you going to like him whether you want to or not. And then after you do that, then possibly.
This man's, oh my God, you ain't shit. You know what? That about killed me. I will say happy birthday, Shaman 05 Live. For those who know, some of you may or not have been around here long enough to see this, but Shaman 05 Line has been with us for quite some time. One of the OGs of Earth's mightiest subscribers, and just hey, we appreciate you, pimping. And I hope, regardless of your love or lack thereof for John Kent, I wish you a happy birthday. I hope you are chilling somewhere, putting your feet up, having a good time. Oh, but we got another John Battle here with the 21 months in the Blerd Club gold mine. Says on a 3-day weekend with the wifey, but still enjoying the show. She secretly likes it too. Hey, we appreciate that because you know what? Honestly, I respect that. I respect that because you know what? My wife does the same thing. Yeah, like sometimes she pretends to be like, yeah, whatever. But deep down, she loves the show. She loves the show. Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. Because you know what? Because they can't just let you have everything. They can't just let you have everything. You got to at least pretend to not like something. Otherwise, you're too much alike. And you can't have that. Let's see here. I'm going back and looking through the chat. I see one here from Bill says, could Moon Girl one day carry the mantle of Moon Knight? Yes, she has moon in her name, but one can wonder for an inhuman of color. Well, here's the thing. Anybody could be Moon Knight, but here's the problem. Lunella would have to go through some ish, and I don't want that for that little girl. Because pretty much everyone who becomes Moon Knight has to die. For those of you, if you haven't been reading, Carter, did you read Moon Knight number 20? Did you catch that issue?
Not yet.
Okay. I did a video for it for the backup story in that one, but we've seen other Moon Knights. I think we saw this in the Kang the Conqueror comic that was out last year, or the year before, where we've seen other Moon Knights that weren't Mark Spector. That pretty much all of them were either black or African in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So yeah, it's very possible. It's very possible. Very possible. But that's it. I wouldn't want to see Moon Girl become Moon Knight. I don't want that girl to have any hardship whatsoever. The Elite X1 says there's a reason, or is this a question? Oh, wait, I thought this was a question. I misread. Let's see. Let's see here. What's this? These are. Let's see here. Here we go. BS Field says, Blerd and Carter, do you think that we'll see or hear a reference of Loki? The first episode of his series shows Ant-Man kicking the case in order for Loki to get it and escape. Well, here's the thing. I think you'll definitely see some reference to Loki in some shape, form, or fashion just based on the nature of them being in the quantum realm. If nothing else. Frantic World says, do you guys think we'll get a setup for Loki Season 2 at the end of Quantumania? And what did you think about the Fast X trailer? Yes, just piggybacking of the previous one, yes, I do think we'll see some level of a tease. And like kind of similar to what they did with, was it No Way Home they did this with? Where they showed a trailer for Multiverse of Madness, I remember.
Yeah.
I could see them doing something like that, either for Multiverse of Madness or for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Let's see here. Got another one here. Says JD says, question: if you brothers had an imagined status quo for the current Daredevil run, where do you think Zdarsky might leave Matt and Elektra at the end of this run? Not married. Not married. I don't think they'll be married. I think he's gonna get back with Kirsten McDuffie. You could tell that's what he wants.
I don't even want to talk about Daredevil this week because Daredevil, I think, out of the books of his that came out, was the weakest one. Just the ending killed that book for me. Even though you had Punisher and versus Daredevil, the Dragon, and all that shit there, the ending killed it for me.
Well, I liked the setup though at the end of it that Elektra pulled a fast one on Akka.
Oh yeah, that was fun. I was more so referring to Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man. Okay, we got to bring Daredevil down.
Okay,
wait, what?
Yeah. That part. Which I think is kind of a funny progression, considering that we know for a fact that Captain America knows what Punisher is doing. He ain't even worried. He knows the Punisher's out here acting a whole fool.
And that was why that argument started with continuity. Do they even pay attention? Yeah. Another thing you could bring up, since you want to say Captain America knows about it, I thought Spider-Man wasn't on good terms with anybody. So why the fuck is he in that room?
Well, yeah, that's what. Yeah, I was about to say, because with the whole Zeb Wells thing, like a lot of the other heroes are supposed to not be cool with Spider-Man right now.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the ending kind of killed that book this week.
Like I think think sometimes there is something to be said for having too many cross-connected story arcs going on, because you end up, things get lost in translation. Well, I think that Chip Zdarsky and Jason Aaron are definitely having conversations. I do kind of feel like Chip Zdarsky, just based on his personality, Chip always gonna do whatever the fuck he wants to do. You can't. I don't know if any of y'all have ever like watched Chip Zdarsky like have conversations with people, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, because he's a hilarious guy and just funny as all get out. But I could tell you right now, I bet you he's the type of motherfucker that is difficult to, I won't say difficult to work with, but he will always keep you on your toes, because he's just going to do stuff. That's what I kind of feel like with Chip Zdarsky. And yes, Amazing Spider-Man is a little bit in the future, so that might be why that is the case. Because it does actually take place several months ahead, but which is also weird, because there's some other, I don't know. I try not to think about where everything takes place in time for a lot of because it broke my mind to try and compartmentalize the idea that all the stuff going on between Daredevil and Punisher is happening before the stuff that's going on with Spider-Man, but also all the stuff that's going on with the X-Men takes place like after all of this stuff. I can't. I don't. My head hurts. We also got another here. We got another here from Bill. Says, what is the worst thing for Mystique to turn into in Marvel Comics history? And will she and Destiny be the heroes / anti-heroes of Sins of Sinister? I don't think they will be the heroes in this at all. Destiny has pretty much showed her hand. She is willing to do supervillain-ish to maintain her to continue Mystique living. And that does not make her a hero, because this will very likely be at the cost of Krakoa in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Even though she said that was what she was trying to protect, I don't think it's going to stay that way. Well, Shaman 05 line with the, man, thank you for that. With the 1999 super chat says his name is Prince, and you will like it whether you like it or not. Cue Blerd with my utmost powers of petty. Oh, I love it. I'm here for it. Melman says, what is your favorite Phase 4 thing? That's tough. Oh, there's quite a bit I do like. I tell you what, it's a very close tie between Moon Knight and She-Hulk. Very close tie. That's what I'll say. What about you, Carter? You got a thing?
Honestly, maybe I'd say the Moon Knight and Cap and Winter Soldier.
Okay. I mean, I dig that answer. Let's see here. We got another one here. Did you hear the rumor about Miles being in Spider-Man 4? I've heard the rumors. I'm not holding my breath. I mean, honestly, if he was going to show up anywhere, why not Spider-Man 4? But I feel like Spider-Man, the next movie's got a lot of plates to spin to answer some questions in the wake of Spider-Man No Way Home. I almost wouldn't want Miles to get lost in the shuffle. Dex Q says, how do you think Punisher versus Daredevil is going to shake out this time, now that the other heroes are fed up with Frank as well? Well, here's another thing about taking consideration, because that's something I didn't even think about, and I got to address this. I got a video that I'm working on for it. I just haven't put it out yet. Daredevil, the thing about the fight between Daredevil and Punisher, and I think in this recent issue of Punisher has yet to kill Ares. Like, by this point, you can kind of tell he hasn't killed Ares yet. At least I don't think he has. I could be wrong, but the way I read it, it seemed like he wasn't, like, on God tier level yet. The way that he is by the end of the most recent issue of Punisher. Because there's a little bit of time back and forth between some of the stuff that's going on. Because I think, from what I understand, the Archpriestess has only recently been taken off the table. On the Daredevil side of things. And Akka's the one more calling the shots now, but that's because Akka is more of a Daredevil-centric character. She hasn't really been in the Punisher side of the stuff. So, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Like I said, wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey BS.
I was laughing at Jonathan Motor Super Chat.
Oh.
Because I know exactly what he is talking about.
I see it now. Oh God.
Do you know what that's in reference to?
No, I do not, but I just love the fact that it's just yet another 1999 super chat.
We can't talk about that on stream. I'll tell you after.
Oh. Is it LL Pool Stick 2D?
Yeah. Yeah.
Danger.
That's what he said when the pool stick went in there. Love it. Love it. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. That's what he said when the pool stick went in there.
Bruh, oh my God. I'm done with y'all. You know what? That's the show.
All right.
That's the show. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I can't take no more. Oh my God. Well, I'll answer this real quick because this is I can do very quickly. I haven't been keeping up with the Wayne family adventures, but do I think he'll have some melanin in him? Probably not. I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. I'm not holding out any hope. I feel like he should have a little melanin in him just by virtue of who Damien's biological mother is. But yeah, that there you have it. But anyways, Carter, you got any announcements, anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
No.
I don't either. All I will say is that just keep it locked. Stay tuned. Thing I do want to say, I do have an announcement. Because I've actually had some time to think about this, talk with some people about it, and I just want y'all to know there is a channel in the Discord that is going to be blown up. And by blown up, I mean it's going to be taken away. Because without going too far deep into it, just know that there are some things in there that could very well likely get the entire Discord server shut down. And I never really thought about it before up until recently, the nature of it, but in light of some recent things that have happened, and without going too deep into it, but some things that have happened to some female Twitch streamers as well as some other individuals, I'm going to be removing the Thirst channel. And I don't want to do it, but I'm literally in the process of doing it right now as we speak. So if you are watching this right now, if you're live with me, if you just tried to go to the Thirst channel, it is deleted.
Melvin is dead.
It is deleted. I'm not gonna go into the whys, to the deeper narrative of the why behind it, but just know that there are some things in there that were some things in there that could be construed in a way that would make me look incredibly bad. And I don't want that. And I don't want people to think that I advocate for it. So, yeah, I'm getting rid of it. I apologize for it, but it is what it is. Yep, I had to do it. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry. Had to do it. It was honestly a thing that I initially did as a joke in the first place, and it just ran too far, and I just kind of forgot about it.
And yeah, then Melvin drug his furniture in there and said, "This is my house."
Well, and I want to put it out this: it's no one particular person's fault, so I don't want anyone to think that I'm singling anybody out. But no, it was brought to my attention that the nature, or rather the origin of a lot of the images that show up in there, if somebody wanted to, if they felt so inclined, they could go in there and say, "Hey, this person took my stuff. This person is promoting it," and I could, for all intents and purposes, be sued for it. So we're cutting the head off the snake. So yeah, like I said, and it's I don't blame any one person, because I'm not gonna sit here and act like I didn't post some wild shit in there too. So, but that said, we're gonna pour one out. Cue the Boys to Men music. And I'll take with me the memory.
You doing Boys to Men to the Freaky Food channel?
Yes,
That's wild.
Yeah. It was a lot of watermarks in there for sure. Yes, there were. So yeah, we're just getting rid of it. I'm done with it. Please, there is no longer a not safe for work channel in there because I just don't want to take any chances. I apologize, but it's just something I had to do to protect us. That said, that is the show. I want to thank everybody. All the the chatters, the lurkers, the super chatters, Blur Club members, patrons, Blur Coa Discord members, everyone who supports this channel in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I want to thank all of you, and yeah, we will see you all next time. For Carter Presents, I'm Blur Without Fear. And Ezra Miller, you can go to hell.
Bye!